Do it live, truck it. Last time, like immediately when I went live, is like we're having issues broadcasting to Twitch, and then the stream crashed like 5 times within the first 10 minutes. I was like, oh, this is great, great first stream back. Good,
Classic.
Good omen.
Achy. I'm achy too. It's that fucking what is it called? Vaccine booster. I got a vaccine. Yeah. So you heard it here first. The vaccine booster makes you feel kind of achy and shitty the next day. So don't get it.
That's science.
Yeah.
What's going on, Random and Buzz King? Got both
What's
the kings in the house. I believe this is a pun. Ask the WUFF questions, like
The
tough
WUFF questions. So, Random King, would you spell woof with a U or with an O? Paul, would you spell how you spell it, Paul? WOOF. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Woof.
That's what I thought too. Woof.
Ruff, ruff.
Ooh. Yeah, woof. Okay, cool. Woofy. So I want to pronounce this like woofy. Woofy. It's like a maybe like a Scandinavian.
I got you. I got your pun, Random King.
The tough questions, the woof.
Is
questions.
DMX still alive? Can we get DMX to endorse this and start barking all the time?
I think he is, right?
I don't know. I don't keep up on DMX's
One of the
aliveness.
Rough Riders, dude.
Let's see. Let's Google DMX. No, he died 3 years ago.
Oh.
Rest in peace, DMX. Maybe we can get like an AI version of DMX to endorse this.
He's like, woof. Yeah. Woof.
I feel like there's a video of him like singing Christmas music that's just like out of control. Well, maybe we'll save that for Off the Rails on Thursday though.
Yeah.
Before we get...
I was saying before the stream, I was saying that I feel like woofy could be like out of context. If you just heard woofy, I would assume it's some kind of gay thing, like some kind of gay like pup subculture thing. But that might also just be because I'm like exposed to the gay community.
Max is just so honed in on all the gay subcultures.
Woof. Will this be useful? I wonder that too. I don't know.
I mean,
they are gonna. I mean, we'll read what they say, and let's kind of come to this conclusion together. Because I don't know that I'm gonna buy any, but if I'm getting them airdropped, I'm still interested. I like
purposely launching a meme coin, and I would argue no meme coins. Like the point of a meme coin is not to have a use. It's
hey, I mean, you can do DeFi on Dogecoin now. Dogecoin has its own chain. You can buy NFTs on there. You can.
I feel like at that point it's no longer a meme coin, though. I mean, I guess it is, but like,
yeah,
historically, meme coins are just like about communities that post memes. There's not like, it's not like it's supposed to be a utility token. That's like moving into a utility token if there's utility on the chain. But I guess it can be both. But that's historically. That's not how it's worked. Also, like
like Pepe doesn't really have anything going for it other than it's Pepe.
WUFFI also isn't its own chain. Like this is a token on Wax, whereas like Doge is its own thing now, right? Like it has its own subchain and stuff.
Yeah, Doge is its own blockchain. Doge is
maybe
a fork
WUFFI
of
will
Litecoin.
Become better than Wax and have its own subchain, and WUFFI will be the new Wax. I highly doubt it, but you know.
That's how the smart chain for Dogecoin started. Like they didn't intend to have a DeFi on Doge, but you can now use your Dogecoin and
all we need is Elon Musk to adopt
liquidity
this
pooling
token and tweet about it a bunch of times, and maybe it'll become the biggest thing ever. So if anybody's got Elon's cell number, shoot him a text for me and let him know about WUFFI because I know he likes to start.
Yeah, WUFFI's the next hot thing. Although I do think like looking at what was hot in meme coin space over the last like 3 to 6 months, it has been like the Pepe token was very successful, which was not a dog themed.
I think it's they're trying to copy. There's like a bonk token or some shit on on Solana that's going crazy and has been going crazy.
Oh, okay.
I sort of actively avoid all meme coins like the plague, so I'm not super aware of that. But I don't know. Let's see. Bonk. Let's see if
I played a few. I have a few meme coins. I have like 2 million of like this token called Bull Run right now over on the Base blockchain, and then on Base there's like Toshi and I forget what the other one is, but those are like cat themed meme coins, and they're doing quite well. Like Toshi is for sure one of them is Toshi. I forget the other one. I'll look it up for you though.
No, this is Bonk. So if you would have bought it in November, it went up. Shazam. I don't know what percentage that is, but is Bonk? What chain is this on?
I think it's on Solana, right?
They got a website. Let's see. I hereby confirm that accessing the white paper and other informational materials, I will be deemed to have reviewed and accepted certain terms therein, including confirmations that I am not based in a jurisdiction where such access. Okay. Yeah, there's a dog here. Bonk.
Bonk. All
it's
right.
Multi-chain. Oh my god, this website's like the most like eye cancer I've ever seen. It's so bright. I don't like it.
Yeah.
About.
I don't know about this website either.
How can I not even tell what blockchain is? Okay, it's on Solana. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is exactly who they're chasing because Bonk and a few other tokens are blowing up on Solana and they're creating a bridge to Solana for tokens. And I think WUFFI will be the first token on that. So I think this is like 100% to try to take some of the money out of that hype and move it over to Wax. But whether or not that will be successful, we don't know yet. Let's watch this Bonk backstory. Let me turn off the musics. Important stuff.
Christmas 2022. In the year 2022, during the holiday season, a meme coin known as Bonk was preparing for launch. A massive Christmas airdrop to the Solana community, arriving at the time when the sentiment surrounding Solana's price was at an all-time low. But in the months that followed, Bonk began to gain traction. He attracted a vast number of unique holders, reaching an all-time high of 400k. This made it one of the most widely distributed tokens on Solana. Bonk.
I think this is all AI.
This is like a Wes Anderson style like token overview.
Who's gonna make this for WUFFI?
Managed to become the most traded token on Solana, second only to Solana itself and USDC. Soon, a new development effort was launched called...
What's the third biggest token on Solana? Is that what they said? I'm so like focused on these images, it's hard for me to... Bonk managed to become the most traded token on Solana, second to only Solana itself and USDC. That sentence doesn't even fucking make sense. Is it the most traded or the third most traded?
Yeah, right.
So it's second to...
How can you be second to like...
Every part of that sentence is as the most, and then second to two things. That means it's third. There's some English logic issues there, but I'm guessing it's the third most traded behind Solana and USDC. There we go. I fixed their sentence.
Token on Solana, second only to Solana itself and USDC. Soon, a new development effort was launched called Bonk Swap, the very nexus of degeneracy. Through all of this, Bonk has received consistent coverage in major crypto publications like CoinDesk. It has also been featured in Bloomer and other mainstream news sources. And so, as the years go by, it seems that Bonk may have a bright future ahead of it.
That was a fun video, though. I'll give him that much.
Okay.
It's very memey. Like that's why I feel like if you're going to be making meme coins, you got to be able to do stuff like this. That's part of the fun. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know. I don't hate the cat meme coins over on Coinbase's blockchain base. There's like Mochi and Toshi, and they're both like little cat characters, and I feel like both of those I would buy if I was buying meme coin nonsense.
If you look at this, like this chart for Bonk, it was like from when it first existed, pretty much just stayed straight until recently. It's like getting massive hype. I don't know what caused the massive hype, but what is that, like a 400x increase? I can't do the math. 0.000. There's so many zeros it's hard for me to see, but it went from a 5 to the next decimal over to a 2.
Damn.
So it's a 4x increase. Right now, that's more than that.
5, and then next one over 2 is like, what is that?
Is it 400%? That's what my brain wants.
400. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
300%, 4x.
All right. Yeah. So I think that is like why this is happening on Wax right now. But should we read the airdrop thing first, or let's just read about the token first.
Let's read about WUFFI's website first and make some decisions about what we're excited, if we're excited, I guess.
Okay. It says the next generation meme coin. Well, it says next gen. I said generation. Bark your calendars. There's a good. They got one pun in.
They got
Bark
a good
your
amount of puns
calendars.
on this one.
For 2024, WUFFI, the next gen meme coin crafted for gamers, is wagging its tail on the Wax blockchain, eagerly sniffing out active wallets in the WUFFI ecosystem for a free, fantastic airdrop. Yeah, there's some puns in there. WUFFI thrives on the strength of its WUFF pack, a growing community of holders, robust integrations, and multi-chain support, demonstrating that this token is truly by the pack for the pack, which 0 people have it. So the WUFF pack is a pack of 0 right now. Unless these have been minted already, then it's a pack of 1.
I don't know.
The token contract exists already.
Oh, we can see it already.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know that the token exists. I think this is the wallet that's creating the token.
I don't see any tokens here yet.
A bunch of people are sending it Wax though, which is interesting. Yeah, it has not transferred to
Wax
anybody.
and beg for it to drop us something early.
I don't think that's how it works.
Definitely.
In fact, we will read how it works in the airdrop section.
What up, Apaka?
Partners with a PAW. Partners in play. The pack's allies. Partners, I hate reading it that way, are the alpha allies of the WUFFI, infusing our pack with the bold expertise and adventurous spirit for an epic collaborative journey. Marketplaces Atomic Hub, NFT Hive, VRL, NFT Blocks. Dexes, Alcor, and Taco Swap.
And Taco Swap, not bad. Those are the main ones I currently farm on as well.
I feel like Chain Champs is getting no love. I feel like Chain Champs is definitely better than VIRL.
Yeah, for real. Chain Champs should be on there.
People also speculate this is made by the Wax team, but I'm not sure we have confirmation of that. But it seems to, like, in the Wax unofficial Telegram, people are just speaking about this as if it's knowledge that this is made by the Wax team, which would make sense.
Honestly, that's not a terrible thing, though. I feel like if the Wax team is making a meme coin, that's less likely to rug pull and be full of shit than like if some rando was making it.
Yeah, I mean, what can you rug when it comes? I guess the initial liquidity, but
yeah, exactly.
Not a whole lot you can rug for.
Or generally, what happens with meme coins is they establish like honeypot liquidity pools, which are whitelisted for only like
okay, well,
like you can only sell. You can only sell to them if you're whitelisted. So it's like you can buy the token like any other token, but when you try to sell it, you can't.
The active key of the account is admin.wax, so I think that's pretty safe to say the Wax team made.
That's pretty much
actually
confirmed.
We can verify that, you know. Verify, not trust the crypto way. It was created by EOSIO, so that's fucking. I think that only works if you are Wax. Like I don't think
you pretty much have to be Wax to do that. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. But I think we can also see if we go to transactions, probably like maybe the very first thing.
Yeah, it'll be like the founding transaction, or at least it used to be. I don't know if they still have that.
Update authorization. Where do you see the Wax admin thing?
I think he's looking.
Oh, here it is. Here we go.
Yeah, the
set the permission active with the parent permission owner to have authentication. root accounts permission actor admin wax active. So the admin.wax is an active.
Is the active key, yeah. That's definitely Wax official. So that's pretty much. I'd say that's confirmed. The Wax team is making this token.
All right, back to our partners. They're partnering with a bunch of games, which I don't necessarily understand what that means. My guess is the games will distribute the token through gameplay.
Like you can earn WUFFI inside of a game.
But that's not clear.
I'd be fine with that if I can start earning some WUFFI in Music Mogul. That, like, we'll get into that in a minute. But that one launched.
They got Landbox, Music Mogul, Brawler, Spin Tycoon. This is also the 3 Wax, Tyranno Studios, which is owned by Wax Games. So that makes sense. FGL I haven't been following super closely, but they're definitely they have 3 or 4 functional games on Wax right now.
Yeah.
Taco Studios, we all know Taco.
Taco
this
has
is
a
like
few games
rebranding
too.
Of Green Rabbit's rebranding into Nanotopia.
Oh snap! That's Green Rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, according to them, Adam and Venom, Mr. Green Granny, the guy who robbed an old lady and is a convicted criminal for financial crimes, is no longer part of the project. He is out of the project. It's been taken over by the community. So,
okay,
that's what that is.
I mean, I still have NFTs from that project. I just don't expect them to be worth anything.
I pretty much dumped all mine. I don't know.
I don't really follow it.
Just side note, I feel like it's not a good use of time to try to take over projects that were created by scammers that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of assets and a completely ruined reputation. Like, if he actually did give them the project and they own the IP, they should have just taken the game they developed, the code, and then made a new version of that, their own new assets. And I don't know, they're starting with a real bad hand there and trying to revive something that's not worth reviving, in my opinion. And if it was oh, we like the community and we like what was built, because they did build that weird 3D thing that was not great in my opinion, but you could have just been let's rebrand that. You could have been active community people could the people active in the community, we know their wallets, will airdrop them new stuff from holding the old stuff, and that way you're kind of starting fresh rather than having this huge shadow with the project. I would have tried to make a new collection and not just try to fit in, because that click farming game has millions of assets, so that's so much shit they have to deal with.
Yeah, for real.
But that's a total sidebar. But
yeah, plus doing all that effort to get a game or a project running, why would you do that to legitimize some scammer's project? But whatever.
I feel the same way about Graffiti Kings, which got taken over by the community, and there's other projects like that. It's you should have just if you're able to develop a game on Wax, just make your own project. Don't take over one that's
game on Wax
made by criminals. But
why attach it to a project that has a bad rep? But whatever.
We've also got Our Planet, Cogs, R Fox, and RotaQuest. So
those are pretty solid.
Big Wax projects.
R Fox they have a few games. Cogs is a big one too.
Cogs is a game too.
Yeah,
I've never played the Cogs game. Cogs is at a game.
Our Planet is still going on, although it's too intense for me. I haven't really played it.
Yeah, I checked out Our Planet a while ago. And then the communities, they have Wax, Bounty Block, Wax 8 Brave Club, Maxi Lab, Captain D-Gen. This is Xander. I don't know what his community is called, but he's he was a Wax ambassador and tweets and writes articles.
Oh, okay.
PFP Wizard, I've never heard of. NFTopia, that's
they do the Digicon.
Yeah, Digicon style thing, digital convention. Consumer Break, Anonymous, which is another new one, and Betsify Me, Uncut Nefties.
Betsify Me is also that's the Nefty Blocks.
That's just Nefty Blocks.
Yeah, that's just Nefty Blocks is PFP kind of community.
Which I don't know what that means either. I don't know. I think it's in the distribution, but I think these communities are getting a percentage of it to distribute through the communities. How that works, unclear.
I got a few.
Maybe for holding our Wax apes, we'll get some.
Yeah, I got a few Wax apes. If they're gonna drop me some extra tokens alongside the Wax, I'm into it. Ugh, hold on.
I don't know if you're asking about Adam being gone. I don't know I didn't read that whole page, but I just know that from talking to Pigwig, is the guy who took it over. Pigwig was a developer for tools for Our Planet, and he's the one that took over Green Rabbit, now Nanotopia. And they are changing the name to Nanotopia because they don't want to be associated with Green Rabbit, I guess. But I feel like they still could have done more to distance themselves and just drop the whole old collection, which is like kind of a shit show of assets, in my opinion. But they can do what they want to do. And yeah, I've just seen direct conversations with Pigwig where he's been like, no, he's out 100%. But I don't know if it's written anywhere. So I haven't read that into it. So I'm also pretty turned off from the whole thing after being involved in Green Rabbit from a consumer side. I also sold I think I kept one 3D figure and I sold everything else. It's just like, this game is not very good. All right, next part of WUFFI, How to the Moon. WUFFI is on a tail-wagging quest to be the top dog of community coins in Web3. We're fetching success through expanding our kennel of integrations, pouncing into diverse change, diving into DeFi pools, and playing fetch in WUFFI's gaming world. In our pack, every bark counts. The stronger the howl, the mightier our mission. It says Chain Chomper, sniffing out opportunities across multiple blockchains. WUFFI is a versatile multi-chain hound. That's where I think they're going to Solana.
Yeah, I think they straight up say that too on the top where it says it's like what chain it's on. It says it's going to be multi-chain starting with Solana.
Well, it's definitely going to be on Wax.
Well, after it says scroll up. I think it's just up there, right? Scroll down a little. It doesn't. There, under the little blue text there, it says
following the Wax blockchain launch, Solana will be the next chain added.
Yeah.
That's definitely starting on Wax because it's like, how are they going to airdrop it to
first
Solana
Wax,
with my Wax
then
wallet?
Solana. Yeah.
Positive.
I also don't know. I don't know
if
if it's going to be like a new token on Solana or if they're going to launch let's say there's like a billion total. Are they going to launch 500 million here and 500 million on Solana?
I mean, they have the distribution right now.
Okay, cool.
And I would say it's definitely going to be a new token as far as even when you make a bridge, you still have to make all the new tokens. So
yeah, but I guess they could share.
Bridge.
They could share a max supply. There's several cross-chain tokens that do share a max supply across all their chains, even though it's a different contract on each chain.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be. I don't think they're going to mint double the supply if that's what you're asking.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Positive community. Each member of the WUFF pack adds value to our thriving ecosystem. Sniffing out airdrop alpha, sniffing out active wallets in the WUFFI ecosystem for our fantastic free airdrops. Alpha Gamer leading. This is just telling you the different ways. Let's just get down to the lion share. This is telling you all the shit that this thing tells you. Lion share to the WUFF pack. So 30% goes to community airdrops.
Okay.
Which I believe that'll be
Is that the games and the communities, or is that
I think that will be the games and the community.
Okay, I think so too.
Because there is no game thing here. So communities, probably 15% the games, 15% communities. I don't know. I also don't know if different communities get more or whatever. Developer integrations. That is also unclear what that means.
I'm not sure what that means. Especially considering that development is the next one as well.
Market development. That's different though. That might be for marketing.
Dex Traders makes it a little. Oh no, never mind. Because the next one says liquidity. So the Dex Traders is probably liquidity incentives.
Initial liquidity. I think that will be paired with Wax, and then Dex Traders. I think will be through Taco Swap and Nowcore, where you earn it for providing liquidity.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which honestly, will be pretty dangerous in my opinion, because a lot of people are just going to get airdrops and try to dump it. So if you're going for the incentive rewards, you are the exit liquidity.
Yeah, definitely. So that needs to be a very high incentive for anyone to jump into that. I think either that or the team is going to put up liquidity. But again, if they airdrop a bunch of tokens, then people are going to dump the tokens into the liquidity.
And it's also there's 5% of the liquidity, 30%. So way more is going out that could be dumped than will be paired with Wax.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
Be aware of those numbers. Also, literally twice as much is going to be given to people through rewards. So even if the 30% people aren't dumping, this 10% is probably going to be dumped into the 5% because most people liquidity farming are trying to make money, not just hold the
Black Fang is everyone's going to dump it. Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
it's the Wax way.
It's free Wax basically, and usually on day one is the most hype. And if we've been around the block like we have, that's actually the move is to dump it and then buy it back a couple weeks later if you really want it.
I think the 20% early. The part that's unclear to me is the 20% early contributors, is that the people holding wax? Like, is that part of the 30% community airdrop?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that either.
There's definitely a little bit of question marks in some of these different percentages. But let's see.
This all needs to look good long enough to dump. Yeah, I feel like it's not going to be that long after you get your airdrop. You should be able to dump it right away, I think.
The liquidity should be paired before they airdrop it if they're doing it correctly. This is just all...
Yeah,
you click buttons and it just takes you to the... All right, let's go to the airdrop thing. This has a little bit
free
more
stuff to jump is the way. Yeah, the way to tank a token price, that's for sure. Let's see how it goes. Who knows if there's enough hype around it? Like hype can definitely fuel like price action, but that is kind of what meme coins bank on, is the hype. And like we looked at that meme coin that was on Solana, and that spent like the better part of a year doing nothing before it finally got some hype. So let's see. This is the airdrop. This is like how you get it.
Oh yeah, this is the WUFFI airdrop your ticket to the WUFFPack. Welcome to the WUFFPack, launching on the Wax blockchain with an impressive array of supporting partners. WUFFI is not just another meme coin. Is it though? With a planned expansion to the Solana blockchain, WUFFI is setting the stage for cross-chain interoperability. Interoperability, is that how you fucking say that?
Interoperability, yeah.
There, you got it. What does that even mean?
Like that they're compatible with one another, which is kind of a cool thing, considering that, you know, we're talking about moving Solana is its own what is that called? Its own infrastructure, and so is EOSIO. So it's like making those two kind of separate infrastructures more compatible with each other, interoperable.
I have those. Like, are they putting up liquidity on? Are they going to put up liquidity on Solana? Because like, how is anybody going to be able to? You expect the community to bridge over enough and like pair it with Solana to be able to actually like trade it? Like, I feel like the teams. Yeah, I hope that's what like 25% for market making or whatever the fuck that percentage was. Like, I hope some of that is to bridge over to Solana so you can actually buy it over there, because it's a lot to ask of the community to like, one, have enough Solana to put it up, and two, to like.
That could also be the move though. Like if you really wanted to play this super sweaty, I'd be like, dump the tokens when you get them on Wax, buy them back, you know, once they've chilled out a little bit after everyone's been dumping, and then dump them again after bridging them to Solana when the Solana drop happens.
Well, Pocket says, I'm hoping they will reuse that bridge to make wrapped Solana on Wax.
I wouldn't be into that. Yeah, I'd trade some Solana on Wax, especially if the bridge wasn't so fucking expensive. Like, you know, they have wrapped Bitcoin and ETH and stuff. It's just no one uses it because the bridge takes a 1% fee, and the Ethereum network fees are so fucking high.
The 1% fee is kind of like,
the 1% fee is absurd. No other bridge out there is doing anything
literally
near
taking
that.
money for. It's like, I'm already paying the fee.
Also, it's a 1% fee for trading ETH into ETH or USDC into USDC. Like, what the fuck? Why am I paying that fee? That's insane. Like, I would pay a 0.3%.
I wonder why Waxy didn't onboard people.
Also, why they're confused about what people like the EOS bridge to USDT token better. It's like, I don't know, because that bridge is free to use. How hard is that to understand?
I don't feel like pretty much any of the bridges I've used cost money besides that one. Like, that's a very strange thing.
Yeah, like the Squid Router bridge might cost you like 0.02% or some shit. And that's to move between two blockchains and two currencies. Like, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to move from, you know, USDC on Arbitrum chain into Ethereum on base blockchain, and it'll do that in one transaction and cost you almost nothing. So paying 1% to move from USDT to USDT across the Wax bridge is absurd. They need to like rethink that.
All right, I'm gonna keep reading this. How should I read this? Yeah, interoperability, the word I couldn't say. The launch of WUFFI is underpinned by a meticulously crafted distribution plan dedicated to fostering long-term community growth. The strategy ensures that WUFF tokens not only reach a wide audience, but also support the ongoing development and engagement within the WUFFI community. All right. The first steps. Join the WUFFPack. Get excited about joining the WUFFPack. Here's how you can claim your share of WUFF tokens in the much anticipated WUFFI community airdrop. Step 1, set up your Wax wallet. I think most everybody on the stream has a Wax wallet, but if not, you can set up a cloud wallet, and there's a link here.
Yeah, you just need an email address for that.
You might still need 5 Wax too, but I mean, if anybody is not on Wax and would like to start a wallet, we were happy to seed fund your 5 Wax. Every wallet on the Wax blockchain is eligible for the snapshot. 2. Leverage the tier system. Your WaxP holdings determine your airdrop amount. The more WaxP you hold, the higher your tier and the more WUFF tokens you receive. Tiers range from Tier 1 holding at least 1k Wax to Tier 10 holding at least 10k Wax.
Okay, so Tier 2 is 2k?
Yeah, it's like every 1,000 Wax you go up a tier. I almost wonder if like, I don't know how it's going to work, but I wonder if like so many people have over 10k Wax that like somehow Tier 9 will actually be like the amount, way less people are going to have between 9 and 10k Wax than 10k and infinity Wax, if you know what I'm saying. And if like a certain amount goes to each tier and it's divided by the amount of wallets, like will it actually be better to be in a slightly lower tier? But that's me getting
interesting. That'd be an interesting strategy, just to split your Wax holdings into a bunch of 9k wallets. Yeah, you absolutely should, Wapaka, because the tiers cap at 10k. So if you have more than 10k Wax, you should 100% split it into multiple wallets, so each of them has the 10k, so that you can maximize your airdrop eligibility.
If they wanted like to crazy hype Wax more and get people to buy Wax to try to ape into this, they should have had like a 100k tier. They should have had something that's really expensive and got like whales to fight, or they should maybe like, I guess that wouldn't work. I was gonna say just whoever has the absolute most gets like some, but there's wallets with like amounts that you cannot buy. I mean, you could, but the slippage would be insane. There's people with millions and millions and millions of Wax.
Yeah, but even 100k isn't like that crazy. You know, it's like what, $6,500 right now.
Yeah, but I feel like that could actually get like price movement on Wax if people from Solana were like, oh, like,
yeah,
like literally just 10% of the entire supply is going to people with over 100k Wax. So then people are like, oh, that's way more than if I have 10k Wax. And then the people trying to ape in, I feel like if their goal is to like use people to buy into Wax from Solana and stuff, I feel like that would have been like an ape.
Yeah, I could
incentive, but
I could see that too.
10k is not that hard to get. I mean, it's not super cheap, but as far as like,
no, 10k, like I said, it's like $6,500, 64 something right now. That's like a good amount of money, but that's not like a whale's like position necessarily.
And people that are fucking around with ether stuff, that's chump change for them. So there's a bounty block campaign. I'll post that too. And I think this is being multi-counted just to absolute the kazoo, as some would say.
Black Fang's not going to unstake his Wax for Wolf. I hope you get it for being staked.
I don't think you have to unstake for Wolf.
You have to unstake? Fuck you.
No, I don't think you have to. But let me.
You don't. Okay, well, that's good. Although I guess if you have more than 10k staked, not unstaking it for just the airdrop to split it between wallets still makes sense.
So you have to follow them, visit their website, and then I think it's like does the thing where if you invite a friend, then you get more entries. So people, you know, just send this to another account and then do it on another account, and they just like multiply their entries. But that's pretty much all giveaways on Wax if you allow people to invite other people.
Nice.
Subscribe to the WUFFI mailing list, optional.
Confirming you don't need to unstake here.
Okay, and here's the note. Total Wax balance in a wallet account, whether staked or unstaked, will count towards all tiers. So that answers that question. It can be staked.
How do I untouch? Okay, so it sounds like if you have Wax, you might be eligible for this. Like if you have 1,000 Wax in a wallet, you might be getting some WUFF, no matter if you want to or not, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to, you can sell it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not gonna like hurt you or anything. It's just, it's kind of cool.
Mark your calendars. The snapshot of your wallet will be taken January 31st, 2024 at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the last day of the month. They also say like somewhere I saw written like they might not be 100% like accurate on that time. So just don't move your Wax around on that day if you want to make sure you have the snapshot.
Wapaka's coming in hot with some math here. He says 10k staked Wax will get you around 2 Wax a day. So moving to, you know, harvest the airdrop and unstaking, moving it would cost you 6 Wax per day. or would cost you 6 wax to move it to the different wallets.
You don't have to unstake it though, so you're okay.
Because you'd be basically 2 wax per day for the 3 days. Because
I guess that's true. If you're staking over 10k wax, then you would have to unstake it.
Then you would have to unstake to separate it. So you would be foregoing, 2 wax per day, so 6 wax per unstake of 10k.
Yeah, I don't know.
I imagine you'll get more than that airdropped. 6 wax isn't that much, but
who knows?
I have no idea.
It's hard to say. They're also setting the price because they're pairing the initial 5% liquidity, and we don't know how much wax they're going to pair it with. So that's really a question mark at this point. It is all speculation.
I agree with Black Fang for this. Black Fang is saying he'll I hope it does entice some Solana people, but if we're looking at what this is, it would entice Solana people who are interested in degen trading meme coins, not in Solana people who like NFT collecting or shit like that.
To be fair, we have a lot of shit coins on Wax, so if that's
we have a lot of shit coins, so that could still be good.
There's like
but
300 tokens on Alcor. Pick your favorite shit coin.
I also say on the flip side of that is if a meme coin like this does do very well at attracting meme coiners and it does kind of skyrocket, then the money that people have made who got the airdrop who are already on Wax and are interested in collectibles would suddenly have some more disposable Wax to buy more collectibles. So that would be good. Like when Our Planet was printing, I was buying a bunch of NFTs just for shits.
Also, if people sign up for Wax wallets and stuff, that just makes them enter the ecosystem. So the chance of them seeing other stuff. And Solana does have a lot of Ether, or not Ether, a lot of profile picture and NFT projects and stuff. So there might be overlap in interest as far as and who knows, if you're into meme coin stuff, maybe you'll be into Music Mogul, and this will be a way they come over and they see, oh, I want to buy a shit ton of WUFF. I can also earn WUFF by playing Music Mogul or Blockchain Brawlers or Spin Tycoon. So it might be a way to ease them into. So I understand the strategy there. It's okay, if you're really interested in the token, there are other ways to get this token, and they're join these communities too. So it might help get new members. Even if the people are only interested in ROI, there is a lot of ROI based stuff on Wax already. This is definitely not going to attract people who are in it for the game of collecting and love artists and support artists. So for collections like ours, this is not that helpful, but let's be real. Most of the projects on Wax are Ponzi ROI stuff. And if that's what this attracts, then it could help those projects.
Yeah. When ROI, I feel immediately you're just getting airdrop shit for free. You can just sell it, and then if you sell it for more than 1 wax, that's that's profit.
Okay, so you definitely don't want to do what I said, where you get 9,000, because if you word our faces, let's make this a little smaller. If you're in tier 10, you qualify for tier 9 through 1.
Oh, you qualify for all the tiers. Okay.
So you want 10k because then you get 10 of 10 tiers, and there's no point in getting 9 because then you're just missing tier 10. That makes sense. That's nice too. So you don't have to do every tier to hope that the tiers have a. Okay, here we go. We have a little bit more of a. A little bit of a more detailed information on the distribution. 30% community airdrop, a significant share for the active members of the WUFFI community, rewarding their engagement from the start. That doesn't really answer any questions. 10% developer integrations, aimed at fostering innovation and integration within the WUFFI ecosystem by supporting developers. Maybe that's the games and stuff. I don't know. All of this is still very question mark. Market development, focus on enhancing WUFFI's market presence and platform dynamics. I really hope the 25%, a lot of that's going over to Solana when they make the bridge. I feel if they don't do it, people are not going to move that significant of share over there. That makes it actually people want to get it. 10% DEX traders, a portion reserved for incentivizing the participation of traders in the decentralized exchanges within the WUFFI ecosystem. 5% initial liquidity, ensures a stable market introduction by providing initial liquidity for WUFF tokens. 20% early contributors, rewards the early supporters who have significantly contributed to WUFFI's growth. All of this is still so vague. This community airdrop, is that the one for holding Wax? Is it early contributors? Is that for holding Wax? And what percentage of this is going to the games and the partners? Because they have a bunch of partners. Is 10% going to people holding Wax, 10% to games, 10%? None of that's really clear from this. But we'll find out, I guess. A snapshot of your Wax wallet will be taken on January 31st, 2024. The snapshot will be used to distribute the first 10%. Okay, there we go, of the community airdrop. So 10% of the 30% is going to Wax holders, which maybe means 10% for games, 10% for communities, like the partner communities. We'll make an announcement once the snapshot has been taken, and the WUFF token airdrop will happen at a later date. So it's not going to happen on the snapshot date. The partners in the WUFFI ecosystem. The WUFFI project isn't just built on the WUFF token. It's about partnerships. We already read all this, but it doesn't really answer what being a partner means. Like, are they giving them some? It says each of these partners plays a pivotal role in WUFFPAC, offering unique contributions that range from enhanced marketplaces to thrilling gaming experiences. But they do still have 20%. If only 10% is going through for holding WaxP, there's still 20% for community airdrop. So who knows what that means? Maybe they'll also save some of that for people on Solana, because maybe that's a good way to get people in Solana to know, would be to like partner with Solana projects and like drop some to people holding Solana meme coins or Solana PFPs or something. But that is unclear because all the partners are on Wax at the moment. Yeah, that's pretty much the WUFFI news.
That's WUFFI.
KY says, airdrop's a later date. I hope it's always hype. It just never happens.
Just keep the hype train strong.
It's okay. I already took a shit today. Do I win? Was your shit on the blockchain? Because if I can't have verified ownership of your shit, then it's not the same as WUFFI.
Yeah, blockchain hash, or it didn't happen.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is gonna really pump Wax in a meaningful way, nor do I think this is gonna have any sort of long-term value. But I guess like it probably didn't cost them very much to do this. It's very cheap to deploy tokens on Wax, so then they're using the token to fund the development of this. So like, as far as like wasting money to try to pump Wax, like this is a pretty cheap strategy. So
yeah,
I don't think it's I don't know. I don't think it's going to attract the people interested in the projects I'm interested in Wax, but it's also like if there's more users on Wax, I guess that's good for Wax. So maybe it could have a positive impact. I'm pretty skeptical about it, but I also don't think this is like the worst. This is better than when the Wax team spent, they said like over $2 million to develop Axis Zero and then released not like, they're just like, yeah, the game didn't get built and we're just going to drop the artwork as profile picture projects for free to people who multi-account and tweet at us. Like that is a much worse strategy and much more money, whereas this is pretty like low cost and I guess could have potential impact. So the first airdrop will only be 3 trillion WUFF. What's the max supply? Did it say? I'm not sure if I saw the supply anywhere. Is it on chain yet? Can we look at it? Yeah, it says it's 10% of the 30%. So it should be 10% of the max supply. And if it's, what would that be? 30 trillion? Well, I'm bad at math. Or would it be 300 trillion?
What was the max supply?
Okay, so WUFFI contract API. So it is on Wax block.
Black Fang's dumping from the gate, he says. I think so too. I think I'm gonna probably dump at least half of it day one, if not 90% of it, if not all of it. Depends on how much it's hyping.
I can't click link, so I'm having to type this in. Contract.
Okay, here we go. Max supply is 100 trillion. 30% is for the airdrop. 10% of that 30% is for the first airdrop. Gotcha.
So wouldn't that be 10 trillion? Or am I misunderstanding?
Look at this again. Let's see. 30% of that is for the airdrop. So that would be 30 trillion. 10% of that.
I typed that in wrong.
10%. Oh, and 10% of that 30% is for. So 10% of 30 trillion is only 3 trillion. If I'm understanding that correctly.
I read this as, it says this snapshot will be distributed the first 10% of the community airdrop.
I think that's correct. So it would be 3 trillion is how I understand that. Because if the community
I
airdrop
interpret this
totals
differently, as in there's 30%. 30% is the total amount, and they're doing a third of that. Is the way I read it.
I thought they were doing 10% of that. Is that not what it says?
The first 10% of the community airdrop.
Yeah,
maybe.
there you go. So
I don't know.
That's 10% of a third. So that's only 3 trillion. Which makes sense if they're so that'd be 3% gets airdropped, which makes sense if 5% is what they're putting up for liquidity. Because otherwise the pool would just get decimated.
That makes sense. Yeah, because if they're dropping more to people than's in the liquidity pool, I wonder what they're going to do with the other 27% then.
Right? I guess the other, it'll just be for future airdrops or shit, maybe? I don't know.
Did I type this in wrong? Like, why is this not loading?
Did you
Should
use a
be
Woo?
API? Contract dash ABI. Can you post that in our Discord so I can click on it, Alcy? Just the WUFFI in the search bar. Okay. That's the most annoying thing about using StreamYard is.
Yeah.
Isn't this the wallet though, not the token itself? Unless that's somewhere in here.
I think it's the wallet that wrote the token contract too, right? Oh, cool. Elsie says, hold on. I think she's going to post it in Discord.
So I think they made the token, but they haven't minted any of it yet, so I don't see it in the account. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alcy. Okay, here we go. Contract ABI. That's weird. I swear I typed that perfectly and it just didn't show up. Somewhere in here it should have the max supply. Name max supply. Sure it's in here somewhere, but this is hard to read into. Create new token summary. Create new token. Agrees to create a new token with symbol to be managed by issuer. This action will not result in any of the tokens being issued into circulation. Okay. I'm too dumb to read this. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Let's see.
I know how to read it when
it's minted. I don't think it's minted. You would see the token, like you'd see. First of all, you'd probably see some tokens in that wallet. But you would definitely have. Oh, Elsie's also saying it doesn't look like it's minted. Nice. So I don't think we can buy it yet. I think we got to wait for this airdrop to happen.
We're also planning on selling it, not buying it. I'm planning on doing the opposite of buying, because if you have,
I'll probably also sell. Yeah, like I said, at least
if you have anywhere from and between 1 and 10,000 wax, you get it airdropped to you for free. So as long as you're holding 1,000 plus wax, you get some, and anybody holding that much gets some. So there's probably gonna be a bunch of people, but I don't know. Who knows? Like if it airdrops and then everybody sells it and you buy it after it all gets sold, that might be a good move. But I wouldn't be the first person to buy it personally.
How much have they stolen? I don't know. I only go for people who've stolen stuff from grandmothers. No, I like I'm trying to think about this one. I could see it like causing non-wax tokens on wax to kind of like short-term sell off as people like try to sell from their like, you know, TLM or Nifty or whatever position into wax to capture the airdrop and then buy back into those positions after. If enough people do that, you could see like certain tokens you know, losing some value in wax, at least over the short term. I also am not.
Can you see this pop out window or no?
No, I see the like spinning disc right now.
Good. I don't want people to see my authentication code when I'm logging in. Excellent.
Music Mogul, baby. I'm actually kind of excited for this one. Not that I would ape into it now, just the fact that I have aped into it long ago. I have stuff to play this game. It's been a while since I've been like flush with assets to play a game that's just coming out. So this is kind of fun.
I was also very disappointed when it first dropped. Like, what the fuck? I have to burn a bunch of stuff just to do, like, potentially. Like, I have to burn stuff to play, and then I can potentially lose it all. But the longer I thought about it, I was like, I don't know. I don't hate it. We'll go over all that when we get in there.
Yeah.
But Music Mogul dropped. So if you have been holding Music Mogul stuff for the 2 years since they sold it, not quite 2 years. I think it was like the summer, so probably like a year and 8 months or something. But it's been quite some time since they sold the original packs, and the game is finally live. This is the very first week ever. I guess just the basic breakdown is you want to import artists into the game. And then when you import artists into the game, your goal is to record songs for a competition. This week is the pop genre, so only pop songs qualify. If you have R&B, rock, pop, or R&B, country, or dance, that's not going to qualify. And you can see here, only the top 500 songs qualify for C notes. Your goal is to get C notes. Nobody has C notes right now. It's a unobtainable currency. The only way to get it is through this competition. And then once after this competition's done, people could sell it on Alcor and stuff. But currently, this is the only way to get it. So everybody's competing to get these C notes. The way it's judged is your song gets a grade. You go to this recording studio, and when you record a song, you have to rent a room. You put in an artist, and you spend these cred tokens. It's recommended you only do the bronze rooms right now. It makes no sense. Nobody has enough cred to do these ones. It's too expensive. And then you'll get a grade on your song. And the higher the grade, the higher you place on this competition. So it's like a S to F tier. S is, I think, what is that, superior or superb? I don't know what S stands for. But S is the highest. Then it goes A, B, C, D, E, F. Or is there even an E? It might just go D, F. It's like a grade scale when you go to school. And there's also minuses and plus. So like a C plus is better than a C, and a C minus is worse. But you're hoping that your grade is high enough to get you in the top 500. Currently, there's only 455 tracks submitted, so every single person will qualify in the top 500. But once over 500 have been submitted, the highest graded tracks qualify. So you're hoping, like, you kind of want to be getting, I think, in the B and A tier at this point. A tier might even be top 100. I haven't made a song, so I can't actually see how high mine is placed based on the rating. But top 10 get 100, so that's 10x what you get if you're top 500. Like the first place person gets 1,000. I'm also not sure what happens like if two people get S tier. Like if people tie, how do they decide who the top one is versus the second place? Like that, I don't understand. So if like three people have an S plus track, how do we know who has the best S plus track? You know, that I might ask in their Discord. But you get significantly more for a higher one. So if you get like an S tier track and make top 10 or even top 100, you're getting like 3 to 10x what would you get for just top 500. And there's definitely RNG involved. Like people have had 5-star artists, which is the best one. They cost hundreds of dollars, and they've gotten C plus tracks. So like you could throw in like a 1-star artist into a bronze studio and get like a B grading and get better than people who have $100 artists. So it's not guaranteed just because you have the better cards that you will get better tracks.
I do kind of like the whole RNG side of it. it is like you can still do really well just with commons, but you gotta get lucky. So it's like a gamified slot machine. Put in your coin and see if you win.
Alcy says I saw somewhere that it said the one that was created first is the winner. So I guess first come, first serve.
Okay.
So being early the day that the competition starts, which you can also, I don't think you have to submit your songs because so you could like generate an S tier song right now and be like, well, it's so late, I'm going to be hide all the other S tiers. You can save it, and then the next time a pop competition comes up, the moment it launches, submit your S tier. That'll pretty much guarantee first place. So you don't have to submit your songs in the competition immediately.
You do need to be top 100 to make enough for another song, and top 500 to get
That's
anything.
not entirely true. Well, yes and no, but it's deceiving as far as because I went in their Discord because I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, because yeah, if you get that is true, but also like it's not as bad as it looks. Because top 500 you get 10, and then if you look in here for performing, you also haven't even got to how you get the creds yet. Here it looks horrible. It's like it costs 4, so if you win 10, you're only going to get 10 back, and then you need, what was it? Did we say 25 to record? So you're like, oh, I'm just burning money. That's not even enough to get enough to make another song. But that's because these are common engagements, the common club performances. Mike posted in their Discord yesterday, if you get a rare performance, you get 60 of this yellow token. So instead of paying 4 and getting 4, which is a 1-to-1 ratio, you can get a 3-to-1 ratio. You get 3x the amount of the yellow token you pay. So you don't want to waste your C notes on common performances. The common performances just burned your C notes. And that's really where the higher rarity cards, like if you have a 3 or 4 star, you're going to get much, much more bang out of your C notes. But I believe it costs more to use.
Elsie knows. She says the rare is higher, and she could tell us what it is.
Is it 20? Because that's what he said he said like it costs 20 and you get 60 back is what I heard.
Cost 20, you get 60? That's not bad.
So like you're not wrong that you can't get 20 without like the rewards. In order to get 20, you have to be top 100, but it isn't as bad as if you're like trying to do the bronze ones.
Oh, Elsie's saying cost 20, get 160 back.
Oh, so it's an 8-to-1. There's also RNG involved with that, though. You might have gotten lucky and gotten a better one because, like, as you can see here, this one costs 4 and you only get 1. So, like, that's dog shit. This one costs 4 and you get 4. So this one's 4x better than this one. So my guess is Mike was letting us know what the worst one is. The worst one is probably a 3-to-1.
Elsie's saying that one, the 160 is for an epic artist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense too. But I think even within the rarities, like this one's 4 times worse than this one. So I think like even within the rarities there's better, but like I think you really want to aim for a blue or better, like blue or purple for these guys.
Yeah,
but
definitely don't
green.
go for the ones that are like 4 and then you get 2 for them. Like I don't know who the hell those are for. That's just don't do that.
But Jolly is right that like if it costs more to do the higher tier ones, you do have to get higher here. So maybe green is going to end up being kind of the sweet spot where like you can get one with green that's like 10 and then you get 40 from it. If you're still able to do like a 4x or maybe like 30 from it.
Yeah, maybe.
But
it definitely seems like a lot of people are not going to win and will need to like reinvest into the next round. So it doesn't seem like everyone who's playing this game is going to be printing money, which makes it feel a little more sustainable, honestly.
Yeah. As of now, everybody who at least submits is qualifying, but once this passes 500, then it becomes an actual competition. My strategy, I guess also this is kind of, gotta explain everything. The only way to get the yellow tokens right now, actually, this is also not true. Somebody was given some because they accidentally burned their shit. Like, you have to burn your artist to be able to get these yellow tokens, and somebody just burned them in their wallet and then was like crying to Mike. They're like, I burned my shit in my wallet, and I was expecting the tokens to just show up. I was like, I don't know why you'd expect that. And then he's like, okay, I'll just send you some. So they sent them in on the blockchain, and then he immediately dumped them on Alcor, even though he's like, I'll send you these if you promise not to sell them. And then they, of course, sold them immediately. So really? This token does exist in circulation on Alcor, of course.
That's too funny.
But I think they said they froze the trading, like they froze that because they froze that wallet from being able to trade it. So I think, I don't know. I don't know where that ended up. I haven't read the Discord the past couple hours. That was all happening this morning. But assuming that isn't still happening. The only way you can get this yellow token is by burning your artists. So common artist gives you 3, rare artist gives you 6, and then sorry, that's an uncommon, and then a rare, which is a blue, gives you 18. Which I don't know, are those conversion rates even right? I thought you had to blend more than 2 of these to get a green, right?
I don't know. It's 3 commons for one of the uncommons, so.
Wait, it's 3 of the what? 3 for the blue?
I feel like there's no way that person made much money. I don't think the Alcor order book has much like demand.
Where the fuck is the blending thing?
Oh, there you go. There actually is some demand now. It looks like 1,000 wax is offering to buy at 20 wax per C note. That's like 5 wax above what it should cost based on the floor price of NFTs. So there is that nice little. I know 6-bit glitch. You're looking for like a gameplay loop. I feel like part of that loop includes like finding the arbitrage opportunities of like how to purchase these things, because I feel like, at least for me, that was a big part of what made like Our Planet super fun.
Yeah, this is not a good deal. So it costs 3 of these to get 1 rare or 1 uncommon. Yeah. That should be 9. It shouldn't be 3. So it's a
that
worse
makes no
deal
sense.
to burn
You could just burn
stuff.
the commons are a way better deal to burn for the currency.
Which sucks because I blended all my shit to blend up because I thought they'd be better for the game. Like, why would they not just make this uniform? Like, why would they give me a worse deal for participating in the blending early? So I blended out of almost all my commons, which is that I think.
Yeah, they totally seem to have screwed the people who upgrade. I'm kind of glad I didn't upgrade a whole lot. I have a shit ton of commons.
I upgraded a ton. Yeah, this game.
I think
this is
finding
not
out like the cheapest way to enter like this stuff is also definitely part of the game for me. Like looking at the secondary market, figuring all that shit out. I think, like, I like that a lot. Or like with Our Planet, where it's like the rigs, like, you know, the 150 rigs being a better deal than the 250s or whatever, or like that kind of arbitrage stuff is super fun.
Yeah,
as far as
this
like,
one has
it's not
3
really
different versions because you can blend the commons, or you can enter with C notes. Because if you get C notes, then you can just immediately start performing. Or if you get the cred off of Alcor, which is tied to the price of a common NFT, then you can start doing songs to get C notes. So there's like, which is also a bit of a gamble because you're not guaranteed C notes if you make a song. So like, I don't know, there's 3 different ways to enter, and there's probably going to be arbitrage. And then there's also like going to be arbitrage within the rarities because like a uncommon should be worth 3x a common, and then rare should be worth 6x a common. So like there's multiple levels of like this stuff is worth that stuff, and then it makes it fun for playing the market. But I would say playing the market is more of the actual game. I don't think the actual game is
exactly. That's kind of what 6-bit is saying too. Is like, I feel like, as like a game dev, I could totally see where you're coming from, where it's like, this game is basically like a click farm slot machine where you pay, 3 different versions of an entry price.
That's also
to then
how
pull
this
the lever.
was pitched, though. I will say, like,
that is how it was pitched. Yeah.
When this game is pitched, they said, we tried to make a real game out of blockchain brawlers, an actual playable card game, and we lost 90% of our, like 99% of our users. Nobody wanted to fucking play it. People only liked the mining phase of the game. So they're like, our next game is going to be a music-based game, but it's going to just be about the tokens and like the game economy because nobody gave a fuck about the like. So I feel like if you bought into this game, you were already expecting it to be like a Ponzi, Ponzi ROI thing. So like in that scope, if we're like looking at it as that, I'll say the first thing is it's a little deceiving because like you can burn. I haven't checked the price. I guess let's just do that.
You can burn yourself.
Last night it was about $10 to burn 9 common NFTs, which gives you 27 cred, and you need 25 to record a song. So you're paying about $10 to participate in the game, which that's about the same. It's 96 cents. So we'll just call that $1. $1 times 9 of those, $9. So you need $9 to be able to play, but you could earn nothing from that. You could not even earn the 10 C notes. So it's definitely like a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, and at $9, that gamble is so expensive that I'm waiting. Like Lewis was saying, I'm waiting till the end of the week to see how many people enter. If there is like a guarantee that I can win because less than 500 songs have been submitted, fuck yeah, I'll play the $9. But for $9 to like pull that like lever and maybe get nothing, that's a pretty high cost.
I think the strategy is to wait, like, because we don't know how many songs are going to be submitted. Right now, there's 455.
Yeah.
If in 4 days and 18 hours, there's only 490 or something, and you get a guaranteed, that's worth it. But there's a chance.
Yeah, then you know you'll get a top 500 if you can submit one and there's only 500 in. Then like for sure you're getting something. Then it's not quite as difficult to wrap my head around burning $9 worth of NFTs to enter
the
this.
Other thing I'm thinking though is that
RNG pool.
One thing, if you burn your NFTs, you can't get them back. So once you burn your NFTs, you're done. If you're like, oh well, I want to get in early because the token's about to 10x next week. Guess what? The cost to get in to get that token will also go up if you can earn more money from that token. So your NFTs that you can burn to get in, if you don't burn them and you're like, oh, I got in late, well then you still can profit from their NFTs going up in value. But if you burn them now and get nothing, you get nothing. The other thing is if it goes down, then you can buy the notes, the C notes, or you can buy the cred on Alcor. So if like the prices go down, then you can get in for less next week. But if it goes up, then again, your NFTs become worth more and you can still blend them next week. But my guess is people have been waiting 2 years to get into this. Assuming most of the community sees that's live, everybody's trying this just to try it. There might be more submissions this week than next week. And it might be easier to get in next week because there's people who have had hundreds of NFTs waiting for this to drop for 2 years. So they're like, now that I can, I'm going to make a shit ton of songs and submit them. But again, next week could be worse, but next week you at least have multiple price points to look at. So right now, nobody knows what the C notes or the cred are worth. They're just worth what people are willing to pay to try it out for the first week. But next week, there will be cred and C notes on Alcor in an actual swap. And like, you can actually earn this much if you sell this much. And that way, the next week, you can kind of be like, okay, is it a better deal to burn 3 of my NFTs, or should I just buy the 25 cred on Alcor, or should I buy the C notes? Because if I have to pay $9 to potentially get 10 C notes, how much does 10 C notes cost on Alcor? So like, I feel like there will be a more, it's easier to calculate what you're actually spending. And I don't know, it's just safer not to burn your stuff.
It might attract more people when there is actually the math and the equation to do, like to actually, like weigh your odds. Whereas right now they're pretty much anyone playing now is just having to ape into everything because we don't know any of the insight about it yet.
The other thing is that again, it could go up, but again, if everything goes up in price, then like the value of the NFTs you didn't burn will probably also go up in price, and then you can
Although for the next, this is the only, like in the history of this game, this should be the only round where you have to burn NFTs to enter because the currency doesn't exist on the market yet. After this round, it will exist on the market, and you won't have to burn NFTs. Although you'll have to spend the token and buy it off the market, so there will always be that like arbitrage opportunity, but we'll have to see. Like you said, I think the best move is to play it slow, see how the current epoch is filling up, and then decide whether or not to actually participate in this first round on the last day.
Also, me personally,
game.
I have a 4-star rock and a 4-star R&B artist. Pop is the most common genre, so there will be more competition. There's more better cards in pop than any other genre. Hardly anybody has 5-star cards in the other ones. So I'm competing against people with 5 stars in pop, where my 4-star is going to have a lot better possibility. Rock is the best for me. R&B at a pack sale, so that one's like the second most supply. But rock, country, and EDM have the least. So for me, it might be smarter to try to enter on a rock week because I'll have a higher chance of getting a higher tier than everybody else. Not everybody else, but less people have the rarity I have. So it'll be better for me. So like even within your own personal collection, you can do some do a little bit of debating. And as I was also saying, you can make the song and then not submit it. So like if you get a fucking D song right now, don't submit a D song if there's like 1,000 submissions because you won't qualify. Just leave it in your thing. And then if 1 week only 400 people submit, then a D is guaranteed 10. So like waiting until the end to submit is better unless you have like an S tier. Because as Alcy was saying, the higher tier, like whoever gets first place, if people tie, is whoever submits first. So if you have an S tier, it's the opposite strategy. You want to submit as soon as possible so you're on the top. But if you have a really low tier, I would definitely not submit until you know that like less than 500 being submitted. And if people burn all their shit this week and it's really hard for people to enter next week, there may be significantly less submissions because like everybody, like if 3,000 people enter the first week and only 500 get stuff back, all those other people might just be like, fuck this, I'm not like buying more stuff to enter next week. And they might not enter next week because they burned all their shit. So it's hard to say. I could also see it going the other way though, where like the game's been out for what, less than 48 hours now. There's a possibility like half the people holding their assets doesn't know this game's even out yet. So like people trickle in as they hear the game launched. So like I could see it also going the other way where it's like people have been sitting on these assets for years and aren't checking Discord every fucking day. So they have no idea the game just launched.
Exactly.
But it's really impossible to predict. But I do think at the very least, waiting until the end of the submission period to see if it's worth submitting your song if you don't have a super high tier song. Honestly, even if you have a super high tier song, at this point, I would wait until the next submission period. There's probably multiple people that have already submitted A+ and S tier songs. So that's my strategy. I'm waiting until next week, but it's really hard to say. Just we'll have a more full picture next week and more ways to enter than just burning NFTs. And we'll
Do we
also
know
have
how many cred was generated with the burn? I think there is like you get 3 cred for burning a common, if that's what you're asking. And then apparently you only get 6 cred for burning an uncommon, which it takes 3 commons to make an uncommon. So you're better off burning a common.
Burning the commons is definitely the way
here
to
it
go.
is. This is where you make cred. The top 3 on this screen here. So if I hide myself.
Is blocking.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, that works too.
That's
how you get cred right now, and then there's no way to get C notes at the moment without actually, spending the cred and earning the C notes from this first round.
Yeah, nobody has C notes right now. You can get cred, and then you can also use cred to buy. Cred is the currency used to buy studio crew, and this multiplies your RNG. So like, you get to have a producer and equipment. So if you have like a legendary producer and a legendary equipment, you have a much higher chance to get S tier. But that's like more currency than is worth buying at the moment because
at the moment for fucking damn sure.
But in the future, if you're really trying to get to the top tier, which could pay off because like, if you get an S tier song and you can get 1,000 compared to 10, that's a shit ton of currency. So like,
also
kind of
if you look at the cred market, the spot market, there's a wick all the way up to 400 wax per cred. So there are people who just buy it and then expect some fat finger action, and they clearly have gotten it. I mean, 400 wax is absurd. 1 cred should cost about 15 wax based on the cost of a common, and based on the fact that 1 common turns into 3 cred.
Is this the right cred?
Yeah, it's pretty much no fucking liquidity, right? Let's see, it's cred. Music Mogul is the contract. Or wait. Music token is the contract. Yeah,
I think they froze the person that was selling this because people tracked it down on the blockchain. And it was some person that like again accidentally burned their NFTs instead of selling them, and then they got the token. And then of course maliciously tried to sell it immediately because
that's but I mean, look at that wick. Somebody was buying it up to 400 wax per fucking token. I mean, they probably bought like a fraction of a fraction, but still, hey, that's
insane.
Wild.
Who bought that?
Yeah, that's nutso.
I personally have a buy order in for C notes, but I think I got way past. I think people took my idea. Oh yeah, I put mine in at like I'm 0.11. I think Max might have been 0.10 and I went above him.
Yeah, I'm point. Let's see, 1 the 100 wax. I was trying to buy C notes for 0.1.
I put in 69. I was like, I want freaking 69, baby.
Yeah, but we got left in the dust. Someone's offering 20 wax now for C notes.
Which that's above the current. Actually, that's not true.
That's above the. I guess that's true because you have to win the C notes. You're not guaranteed them. So this is a speculative market for sure. It's definitely interesting.
I would say this is gambling. Like I wouldn't say this is a play to earn. You're not guaranteed earnings. But I also think it's more sustainable because if you just dump tokens forever to people, like every single one of those tokens just dies. Like, and also the reason this is good, like good for this style of game is, let's say you have to click a button once every hour. 100% of the time, bots and automation is going to beat humans at that. So this is set up in a way that bots have no advantages over humans. Bots can't click a button more than you only have to submit a song once a week. So as long as you can log in once a week, you are doing just as good as the bots are doing. Also, having 1,000 accounts is not better than having one account because
you have to
only
pay.
the top 500 qualify, and it costs the same amount of currency. You get no free currency just for joining. So like they set this up in a way where bots do not have advantages over humans. So I actually very much appreciate that. And also what I was saying is like if you're buying into like a clicker game, those are all Ponzi's, and the whole game is like hot potato and selling your shit before you lose money anyway. So I feel like if you're in this thing, you're like, I was already gambling if I was buying into a Ponzi ROI thing. So like why not make gambling a part of the game mechanic? So I actually don't hate the way this is designed as far as like sustainability in a gambling game goes. What I don't necessarily like is that was not the way they pitched it, nor like I don't know. I might not have bought a $75 pack if they're like, hey, like you have to pay $75 and burn 9 out of 25 of these cards just to be able to roll the dice. Like
pull the fucking slot machine handle.
let's see. Let's do calculations. I'm fucking bad at math, but
for a crypto project, honestly, like you said, I think this is in line with what crypto like apes like. You know, people like to ape in and gamble and roll the dice, click farm, and this is at least one where the bots aren't winning. There isn't a multi-account advantage, and it's kind of like clear on the front end that chances are you're going to lose. So I don't know. I'm not super upset.
Yeah, I paid $3 a card because I bought a $75 pack, and if I'm expected to burn 9 of those cards, that's $27 you have to pay just to pull the trigger to potentially earn nothing, and that was not like the way they pitched the game. That was not apparent until years after they announced the game. Like we thought it was going to be like, oh, there's a chance that like no matter what you'd earn something, you'd be able to sell off part of those earnings to be able to recoup some of the $75 pack cost. So I do feel like it's kind of like a bait and switch. And it's not that kind of sucks, but like outside of the like if you're to buy it now, like at least it's obvious what it is. And I feel like I don't know. It is what it is, and I don't hate it for a gambling game. And I don't know, gambling can be kind of fun sometimes. So I'm excited to gamble and make songs at some point. I just think the very first week is kind of risky because we don't know how all this stuff is going to stabilize the next week.
You don't know the odds. You're gambling without knowing the odds. You're asked to ape into this, which is fine. That's how games launch. But I'm not like in the business of just aping into everything anymore. I used to.
I'm also not in a rush. Like
exactly. I waited like 2 years for this shit.
And as I said, I have better artists in other categories. So this first week, like if I'm going to pay $10 to fucking pull the slot, I'm going to wait until it's a rock slot because I know I have better odds than other people in that genre. So like I'm not in a rush to burn all my shit if it's going to cost me $10 to play, but I'm also not opposed to betting $10 to see if I can get into this ecosystem and then gamble a few more times. So I think as long as you like take it for what it is at face value, and if you really hate the fact that this is a gamble, don't burn your NFTs and don't think you can sell, which honestly, $1 per common is pretty decent right now. And if you pulled anything better than a common, like I don't know what your pack odds were, but like there's actually a decent shot you can make your money back for a $75 pack right now. Like the worst you could make is $25 if you pulled 25 commons. But if you pulled anything besides a common, those high rarity cards are selling for, I mean, like let's check the market. But yeah, if you don't want to gamble, I'd recommend not burning your stuff, not playing, and just trying to sell your stuff. It's like $2 for an uncommon. It is $20 is the cheapest 4-star. All right, that's not right. If you pulled a 5-star, the cheapest one's $230, which most people didn't. Where's the 3? And it's $5 for a 3-star. So depending on your RNG, like there's a chance you made money, but if not a chance you can recoup at least most of the $75 pack, which everybody's hoping it moons and they get rich. But I don't know, even be able to recover a third of a pack cost 2 years later is pretty good for a wax project. Like tell me how much your NFTs are selling from the Weezer pack you opened a couple of years ago. Like there's projects you can buy that are worth like at 1.01 of what they're friggin' worth when you bought the packs, and they like completely abandoned. So like if your goal is just to like not gamble and extract safe money, selling your stuff right now is not the worst idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what the pack costs are actually. That's a good call.
Right, packs could be a deal.
Where's pack? They don't have. Oh, here's
someone buy my pack for $75. That's funny. That's like the drop price, and it's been 2 years, and you're still like, you'd be lucky, I think, if it sold for that at the moment.
A pop pack sells for $60. Cheapest one.
Okay, that's close. I mean, they sold for 75 at drop, so they've definitely come back.
There's not a single hip hop pack. If you have a hip hop pack, those are rare. Those are not even listed. I don't know. It's like, obviously you didn't get rich sitting on this for 2 years, but you could be doing a lot worse for lost value on wax if you absolutely hate the way this game works and don't want to gamble, which I think is fair because everybody buying into this didn't know it was going to be a gamble. Yeah. Pack. But as far as like a gambling ROI clicker game, I actually don't hate the way this one is set up. As far as like, bots don't have an advantage. I don't have to check my phone every hour or like 15 minutes like Alien Worlds. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, even Wombat, I'm like, I'm not trying to click a button every 3 hours. That's not why I got into this stuff. But like signing in once a week to like check the analytics of the prices, see if there's any arbitrage opportunities, see if I have the right genre for the competition, and then being able to strategize that way. That is sort of what I like about these games anyway, as Max was saying. Like, when we used to look at what was the best deal for Ether per hour to get into our planet, and like finding the best way to enter with the best possibility. Like, I don't know. I don't mind that. We also tried to invent and burned a lot of stuff, crafting. Like, we don't mind a little bit of gambling in our crypto game.
Playing the game. Yeah. That's part of it, is like, I don't mind spending a little bit of money to play a game. Although $9 to pull the lever on a slot machine is too much for me.
So the most recent one sold for $61 this 12 hours ago. So
was that DNA?
No. I think he was also saying buy my thing at 75. I don't think he actually sold it.
Yeah, he's listed it for 60, he says. Oh, it's Toon.
Yeah, honestly. Also, I wonder how much wax it took to buy that. You might be way up on wax as far as, I think the price of wax was more than it was 2 years ago. So like, even though you lost US dollar value, if you hold that wax, you might still do all right.
Yeah, if you had sold it in a profit in terms of wax and just held the wax, you would have done worse. 750 wax.
You know.
Oh, they were 750 wax. What are they right now? What are they selling for? Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in on this.
What's going on? I make stupid games.
Okay, so it's actually a loss.
We're talking about gambling ROI games now, not real games that are actually fun. So you got to get out of here. Get out of here with you making actual functional, fun arcade style games where we're pulling a lever for $10 and hoping we make an ROI in a Ponzi.
I'm sorry. Are you making games that you sell just for like $10 or less entirely? No. I'm trying to spend $10 to pull the lever and lose.
Yeah, I don't know. That's sort of my final conclusion on this, is that like it's not going to be like a fun game, but if you're into crypto gambling stuff, like the way this one is set up, I think is somewhat sustainable as far as like they're not just shitting out tokens. Like, there's a minimal amount of tokens going out each week, and there's a chance, it's even somewhat deflationary. If more people are entering and burning their shit to try to enter and don't win, then like a lot of shit's going to get burned every week. So it's not just like shitting out tokens infinitely and going to be like guaranteed to go straight down. But it also is going to largely depend on supply and demand. Like, is 500 a good number for rewards each week? And how many songs are getting submitted? So what if we get to the point where only 10 people are submitting a song each week? Then the token for sure is going to fucking collapse because everyone's going to be making hundreds of those tokens. So it's really all comes down to player engagement, which is why I think waiting and keeping an eye on it, waiting until next week to see how many songs are submitted, and just keeping tabs on it. That way you might be able to enter for less. But
it's also like what was I say? It's kind of a cool skin, I think, for what it is. It's like, I like music and that kind of like the music production kind of angle of it. So like, I get that it's just a little quick, like, slot machine, click the button and did you win or not? but like the skin of it and like the way it's like, oh, you're recording songs and trying to like get your label as songs to be hits and stuff. Like I don't know.
do
I like
also
that
like
skin.
the AI aspect of it because like the song titles are all AI generated.
Yeah, that's fun too. I don't
Like,
know. There's parts of this that I'm excited about. I would put it this way. I'm stoked to try it out because I have a bunch of assets. I don't know that I would like ape into this if I didn't already own the assets.
Yeah, my initial reaction was definitely just disappointment. I was like, what the fuck? You want me to spend $10 to potentially lose? Like, that's not what I signed up for.
Quite a bit.
So I understand why people are not interested in this and disappointed if they thought like, oh, this is gonna be the next blockchain brawlers where everybody bought a pack, shit out money and printed wax for like months, which yeah, this is not that. So if that's what you're expecting, this is definitely a bit of a bait and switch. It was not designed in a way where like it's a play to earn, it's a gamble to earn. It's just gambling. That's what all gambling is. If you're gambling and you can't earn, that's a pretty shitty gamble.
Yeah.
I do think this is like not bad for a degen crypto game. And yeah, I like the skin. I like the art, the music stuff, and the AI. I'm going to read some of these song titles. Best Friend's Brother by Danger Records. We'll Be a River by Zap. Walk Away by B-Side Studios. The Rock Show Me. Songs about crack rocks. A Picture to You by Soft Star Fishes. Rude Boy is a Woman's Worth. That's a good one, right? By Country Crypto. Country Crypto made Hole in the Feeling. I like that one. A Woman's Worth Living is by Quincy. Love on Top, that's literally just a Beyonce song title that got randomly generated. That's one of my favorite Beyonce songs too. If we got any people from the Beehive in the audience, shout out. Put your love on top.
It's played
Rock. It's just the name of the song by Quincy. All I am telling you is, I like the ones that are more fucked up. Like when it sounds like it could actually be a song title, that's not as fun. Like this one, It All on the Morning. Don't know what the fuck that means, but that's a fucking hit. Stupid Girls by Quincy. Couldn't Last Dance For. That's a fragment of a sentence. Pinch Me Up by Quincy. Follow Your Girlfriend, I'm Already Gone by Quincy.
Okay.
Paper Planes, that's another actual song.
Paper Planes, that's an actual song by MIA.
Yeah. What's a Leash? I like that song title. There's one called White Flag Little Christmas. I don't know. Is that like somebody surrendering a war on Christmas? I'm not sure, but
I mean that's a pretty good one because it's gonna be seasonal. It'll come back every year to the charts.
Once you submit it, it's gone forever though. So if these people submitted it, they submitted it a month late. Right Where the Moves. Let Them Girls. God Only Time. Price Tag. Okay. Cowboys Are Moving. I like that one. Lady Is Not Afraid. Fast Car Wash. It's a mashup between Fast Car by Tracy Chapman and Car Wash by that 70s funk group. Working at the car wash. Yeah. You're gonna ride a fast car up in my car wash.
Fast Car Wash.
There's one in a different language. Ella Kier Beber. Pictures of You, I think, is also an actual pop song. Family Man, isn't that also that's a Hall & Oates song?
What was the Spanish one? Ella quiere beber? Like she wants a drink?
I guess. Heard It, Good Guy.
That's not a bad song title either. She Wants a Drink.
They were talking about at one point, like Mike was talking about like working with music publishers to have all of these be real songs and potentially having like real artists behind them. Like you're like, oh, like here's an artist, this card represents this person who makes stock music, and then all the songs pull from their stock music genres, so you actually like get songs. But I don't know. It could be cooler. They've also been talking about like AI generated music, which I don't think is really, the tech isn't there yet. But maybe one day, like every time you generate a song, you're actually getting like a song. They also
I'd honestly be fine with that if the music was just horrible. I think that's just for fun.
Me too, to be honest. I think it'd be fun. Yeah. They also said they already have in the hip hop genre, they're going to start generating lyrics. So you're going to get like full raps for the hip hop songs that you'll be able to read the lyrics.
That's hilarious.
Song. So I don't know. The skin is kind of fun as someone who's very into music, and have mixed feelings about this project. It took them 2 years to come up with a fucking slot machine, but I don't hate the slot machine. So like, it's fucking dumb that it took them 2 years to come out with like a pretty mediocre game when this should have taken someone like a couple months to build, and also made it super cash grabby and crappy to enter. But my
maybe in the
ass
future,
fucking...
in the future, instead of hiring some like unknown like developers, maybe like I don't know, hire Taco or somebody who's already built a game. Like I make stupid games, 6-bit glitch, like people who actually have done it successfully. Like why are you not being consulted on something when you have a blockchain based game? And then instead they're going to go with some studio that doesn't know how to do it, and then they're like, "Oops, it doesn't work." Like
I don't know. Once you work
with,
they hired two. Yeah,
work with someone who fucking does it already. Like you have people on your blockchain.
And that's why this took 2 years. I make stupid games. This demo was fully playable a full year ago, but somebody found out there's a crack in the code where you could just choose. You could name your songs through the blockchain and just choose the grade, so you could make all your songs S tier songs. Nick Custer's found out. He's like, "Hey guys, like your shit." Your shit is broken, and this breaks the entire economy because the entire economy is based around who gets the highest grade song, and I can just grade my song through your demo. And like they weren't able to fix it without starting from the ground up, so they had to rebuild the exact same game again from the ground up, and that happened twice. So they hired 2 shit studios to really release a complete shit project. That's why it took 2 years. But
which is also like, I don't know, you have people already on your blockchain building here. Like, why not give them a fucking like give them a contract instead of giving some like studio that clearly couldn't do it anyway?
Yeah. Also,
like, if you're gonna roll the dice anyway, roll it on somebody who's already supporting your system.
As much as I don't like love the games that Taco has created, Taco has built multiple functional games on this blockchain. Like they probably could have shit this out in 2 weeks. Like pay the people who already understand how this blockchain works and the code stuff that doesn't have massive exploits on this blockchain. Like those projects exist, and I don't know.
Yeah, they could have worked with Taco, or I don't know.
I think it would be fun 6-bit glitch if we made real songs based around if I ever write an S tier song that wins me serious amounts of C notes, I will probably record a version and post it in their Discord. But it's gonna have to be a winning song. If it doesn't win me money, I'm not taking the time to no losers getting a fucking custom neon song.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody like I Make Stupid Games, 6-bit glitch, Taco, even the Crittercraft guys, like there's multiple qualified developers who've built functional tools on this blockchain that could have made something like this in probably a fraction of the time. And I don't know if it's like they're trying to pay them too little. It's like the VFX thing. Like Max will tell someone to bid for VFX and they're like, no, that's too expensive. Then they go hire another studio in like a third world country. They do a complete bullshit job and then come back and have to pay Max more to redo all the work. And they end up paying twice for the same job. It's exactly what happened here. They like hired 2 complete shit dev studios and then like probably ended up paying more than they would have for the initial bid by like multiple X because they did it 3 times.
Yeah, and you could have supported your own ecosystem. Exactly, DNA. That never made sense to me, where it's just like, how are you hemorrhaging money on everything you do? And you have like talented developers in the space and you just ignore them or don't support them like at best. I don't know. It could have been done better. It'd be nice to see them like kind of lead from the front from their own blockchain versus like, trying to build everything themselves. I always thought that was kind of a mistake where they're like, oh, we're going to, build our own game. We'll build our own market. We'll build our own whatever. And it's just like, all those things that you're doing are all like, one, they already exist here and there's better ones. Like no one's using VIRL. People are using, like Atomic Hub, Nifty Blocks, NFT Hive, Chain Jams before they go to anything on VIRL. So it's like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like support your existing infrastructure. Why are you building, like when doing all these redundancies makes no sense to me. But yeah, whatever. I'm not on the team. So I don't have the full story, so it's hard for me to make a judgment on it because I actually don't know exactly how those decisions are made. But yeah, whatever.
I think the problem is like, the game studio is run by Mike Rubinelli, and Mike is newer to Wax than we are. Like he got on Wax a year after us, so like he doesn't necessarily know all the talented developers, and he's reaching to people in his. Which he is like a professional game developer, but like he's reaching out to people who have no experience developing on the blockchain, which is how the first game worked fine. it was just exploitable at the blockchain level to be able to like change the immutable data, or not the immutable data, but like, I don't know. The first exploit I think had to do with them not knowing how to make shit for the blockchain. So like, I don't know. You can't
basically the way I understood the exploit is that the way they built the game was like everything was happening off chain, and then at the very end it was a written on chain. Which, if you were savvy enough, you could intercept what data was being written, and you could just change it. So because the data is being written all at the very last step, it was like very easy to exploit. Whereas I'm pretty sure the current like mechanic doesn't let you do that, or at least I hope it doesn't.
Josh was working on something like this like year, maybe even year and a half ago. Josh from Stratton Studios, but I think that guy kind of just like stopped doing stuff on Wax. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I went to his Discord for Stratton Studios, and the last update was like a full year ago. So, yeah, hasn't been an announcement in a year. I don't think this guy's still building, but he had a couple cool projects that were like legitimate games on Wax. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as you're familiar, if you're building real games that aren't ROI Ponzi games, people don't buy into them on Wax. So it's like, I don't blame real developers for leaving Wax. There's no audience for their shit here. Like, why would you build something here when you can go put something out on Steam and make more money? Because people aren't like the anti-crypto people hate NFT games, and those are the people who are trying to attract to your actual real games. So it's like, unless you have a lot of,
you got to change your whole approach and your name to "I make stupid tokens" instead of "I make stupid games," and then people will love it.
I don't know. I do think there's a way to still make. I think the successful way to make a real Web3 game is to have the Web3 stuff be 100% in the background and not to advertise it. Like, it can't be the selling point. That like literally turns away the people you're trying to attract. If you advertise it as a crypto game, real gamers are out. The way to get real gamers in is to not tell them there's crypto, and then they just suddenly have, like, they sign up for an email, they have a wallet, they don't know they have a crypto wallet, but it's just like anytime you sign up for an Epic Games account, a Steam account, you could call those wallets. Like, you're holding digital assets attached to your email. It might not be on the blockchain, but that's still a digital asset wallet, I would say. But you just do it without them knowing it's on the blockchain, and then suddenly they're able to sell it and trade the items on marketplaces, and then they're able to cash out into crypto, and they're like, oh, this isn't so fucking bad.
No one's mad about that. Yeah, exactly.
And that's how NFL Rivals is doing it. They don't even call, when you buy the stuff in game, their NFTs are called limited edition. There's base cards. Base cards are not NFTs. Then limited edition cards are NFTs, but they don't actually tell you they're NFTs in the app, because NFTs turn off gamers. So people are downloading it in the Apple Store, paying fiat through credit card to buy NFTs without knowing they're buying NFTs. And then once they're in it, they're like, oh, I can actually cash out through this myth economy. And guess what? If they don't want to deal with the crypto shit, it's no different than every other game they've ever played, where they just trade stuff within the marketplace and never try to cash out through an exchange. So like, they can just totally avoid the crypto shit if they don't want to deal with the crypto shit, but it gives them the option to, and is successfully onboarding a bunch of those people into understanding the value of digital ownership and NFT assets. So I do think those games, it can work, and there are examples of people doing it very well currently. It's just a fraction of it. And also, NFL Rivals has like a cheat code because the NFL has a huge built-in following. So like people have been playing Madden for 20, 30 years. Like, when you're trying to launch something like Music Mogul or like Blockchain Brawlers, you're creating a new IP that has no following from scratch. So the amount of marketing it takes to onboard customers is much more. Like, the whole thing when you're running a business is like customer acquisition costs. How much does it cost in advertising to onboard a customer, and how much do they spend for that money? So like, if you spend $1 on an Instagram ad, how many dollars back do you get from customers? And when you're advertising something like a NFL game, you have to spend way less on advertising because people are already looking for NFL games and they like the NFL and they're fans and willing to spend money on it. So when you have a huge property, it's much easier to advertise. So it's much easier to like trick people into getting into an NFT game rather than trying to build something from scratch that has like no IP behind it, which is what, people like us are doing. People like 6-Bit Glitch or I Make Stupid Games. It's a lot harder for us to advertise our stuff. And then it's harder to get people to join it in the first place. And then when you do, you also have to like jump through hoops to trick people into getting into crypto shit. So definitely a lot harder. And I know not everybody's can just be like, yeah, it's easy. Do what NFL Rivals is doing, because let me tell you, Blankos is not going to have as like they're launching Blankos mobile, and I think they're expecting to go like NFL Rivals. I do not think it's going to work the same way. I don't think they're going to be able to onboard nearly the fraction amount of users to like an unknown IP.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to make another tea really quick. I will be right back. I don't know if you want to drive for a second, Max.
Yeah, I'll switch over here and pull up some crypto stuff here. Let's look with all this stuff we've been talking about, NFTs and how people don't really like to see that kind of integration into their gaming. Let's just look at the crypto market. It looks like shit is switching up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up. I'm looking way too close right now at the Bitcoin chart. Let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin in the coming days, weeks, months. I guess I can hide this bad boy. And let's see what we're doing in the next in the next week here, what we want to do. And then I also wanted to take a look at how I want to approach our liquidity pool on the DeFi wallet, because the rewards have ended like 2 days ago or so. But first things first, let's look at the market. We're looking at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin on the weekly chart has been kind of on a run. We got our approved ETFs here, and so now I think, similar to what I was saying before, is like we're going to get the hype run up on the ETFs, and then once the ETFs actually launch, I think we'll be able to cool off that hype. And you can see here, this is the strength index, the SRSI, starting to cool off on the weekly. Now that the hype phase is kind of ended, and we have our ETF ready to go. So if you didn't know that already, BlackRock's ETF as well as several other ETFs were approved like last week, and so you can now trade Bitcoin ETFs, actual physically backed Bitcoin, meaning if you buy BlackRock's ETF, it means BlackRock's It means BlackRock owns Bitcoin relative to your share of the ETF. So they actually have the Bitcoin. It's not some synthetic, kind of similar to, buying gold, like paper gold, where like the gold is actually physically held somewhere for you. And they're not just, trading gold as a derivative where the price is being tracked through some sort of index mechanism. Either way, I'm getting like a little off topic here already. But looking at the chart, looks like the weekly is starting to pull down a little bit, pull back a little bit, although the demand for the ETFs has been pretty astronomical. And in the last few market days, the big market makers like BlackRock and stuff have bought quite a bit of Bitcoin from the spot market to continue to shore up their reserves for their ETF. So the demand is exceeding a little bit what they already had, since they are buying off the market again. But let's see how the daily chart looks if we get a little closer. And you can see on the daily, we did get our cool off here last few days. We're kind of like hovering down here right now. And we're starting to flip our trend here. Our strength band is flipping to red on the current candle. So obviously this candle is still being drawn, and we have not that long left, 30 minutes left before the day closes. So the day closes at 4 p.m. Pacific time, usually every day. And so once this day closes, we will have flipped the trend, but we're still not seeing a bear print. So what I want to see is a print bear once the strength band is also red, before I can get confirmation that the trend is actually changing. It looks like it is kind of near the bottom of where we would get that print, but we're also kind of, running out of steam on the sell-off here. You can see we're oversold a little bit. We're kind of coming back. The trend is reversing a little. If I go a little closer still, yeah, this could kind of go either way. Right now, it's been kind of ranging, but for what I'm seeing, I'm not getting a clear direction pick yet. And so what I would be looking at for Bitcoin, at least, is for it to continue to range, between kind of this price level here and this top level here, until we kind of break from this kind of channel that we've been in for, what is that? Almost this whole year now, after we came up. And you can see we kind of have been flatlining here, right? And while we're flatlining, let's take a look really quick. Hopefully I can bring up the OBV. On balance volume. My subscription ended on this account, so I can't bring up multiple multiple indicators at once, which is annoying. But I have like a pro subscription on other accounts, so I can, go down to like the 10-second chart and watch this shit play out in real time. So whatever, we don't need to see the on-balance volume at the moment, or I guess we can see it by just closing this one and then bringing it in here. So let's see if we're also climbing an on-balance volume. So here we are again on the daily chart. This is kind of where we've been flatlining. So starting around here, and see during this flatline, we actually continued to climb a bit up until this drop where we pushed below the band, where we did kind of, make a lower low compared to these previous lows, or at least compared to this low. Still higher than we were here. So look at this low right here, right? On the on-balance volume is here. You see this peak kind of went lower, and at that price action, we were still about the same. So this is still more or less flat, if not climbing. So not necessarily painting a bearish picture just yet either. So looking at the week, I think we're going to have to keep an eye on what happens next. We're waiting for this to basically confirm that the trend is down by losing support around here, around 40, what is that, 42,500. And then if we do not lose that support, we want to be able to push back above our band here to kind of reconfirm that the trend is moving up further. And that's around 40, what is that, 45,500. So we're looking for Bitcoin to close above 45 in the coming days to kind of continue a push up. Otherwise, if we close below 42, I imagine we'll probably continue pushing further down. We don't have a clear direction just yet. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the wax chart before we decide what to do moving on. So here's the wax daily chart as well. And you can see on the wax chart, it's a little bit more defined. We do have our bear print. We have it flipped to red already. But you can also see our on-balance volume is just climbing and climbing and climbing. And it has been climbing for like ever, for a long time. So this is basically showing like an accumulation phase in on-balance volume. We got people basically money entering the wax ecosystem, even though the price isn't necessarily reflecting money entering. You can see on the daily chart, we have a peak here with a like low, and then a lower peak with a lower low, and then finally here we were getting another peak, but it's still not, a double top to this peak or a higher peak. So it is higher than this previous one. And so here, what we want to see now to continue uptrend is on this pullback, we want it to pull back at a higher low. So we need this bottom, like this pullback, to not drop below, around here where we had our bottom last time. Let's say around here, which is, let's say like 4.5 cents. So there's still some room down below our range. If I turn on our lines here, this is still about, it's maybe a little bit below, we have 5 cents marked out. I said about 4.5 cents. It's like right here is like the bottom of that range. But there's definitely support at 5 cents. And I'm still like, we're still very much within our liquidity range here. And so moving into the next week, we still need to see this fail. So last week we were also looking, at this orange line to be like, okay, if it's holding, it's holding, we want to see it bounce or be rejected. And since then, it's pretty much just been hugging the line. So keeping that in mind, I think we're still waiting for it to either reject or push higher. And you can see, the bear print, the turn. So we're basically looking for it to probably, let's swap this to the SRSI again and take a look if we're overbought, oversold, or what. Let's say SR. I guess I don't have this one starred. There we go. So yeah, okay, we got plenty of room on the daily. So we're kind of in the center line there. And so what we're looking is we'll probably push up and continue to move up here. And then we'll be wanting to close above around 7 cents, like around right here. We want to break through this and turn this back into support. This orange line has been acting as support pretty well, but we've been kind of suppressed and hugging it for a while. So it feels like maybe it's a matter of time before it fails and we test the lower level. Or if we are going to move up, I want to see us push through here so that we can move back to our previous high around 8.5 cents. So for the coming week, I'd expect wax is probably going to range again, or continue to range between 5 and 8 cents. It's hard to say if we're going to move a whole lot more aggressively than that. But with just that in mind, let's take a look at our liquidity position. I'm going to jump over to the DeFi wallet here. Oh, nice. I'm already signed in. And let's take a look at what we have in here in liquidity. So we have 2 positions currently. We have Wax USDT and USDT Wombat. And then I believe our farm has ended. So you can see here, the farm is no longer showing up. I go to My Farms, show finished. Yeah, no. Oh, here we go. Claim and unstake all. This is from like finished. So this will be the one that is still waiting to claim, because that is this guy. So you can see I'm staked here. But you can also see that the rewards are over. Or has it started again? No, let's turn off show finished. Yeah, so these are finished. So the red, I think, indicates that it's no longer printing here. The green shows that it is. Because it is a little confusing, because it still has an APR showing here. Although now it's saying daily is 0. So, okay, we did exactly as we expected. This is finished. So let's take a look at the pool. Oh, we already saw on the farm that we have about 1.6 wax to claim from last week. And in the pool itself, we actually have around that too. So, around 0.9 something, around 8 something. And you can see our range is still perfectly nice, within reason of what we want, but we're not earning any yield anymore from the farm. And so I think we're going to unwind this position. We want to, so first things first, I'm going to remove the liquidity. If I was going to, if I do this with a larger position, then I might not, try to sell all the USDT directly into like the pool, because I don't want to incur a big price impact and cost myself money with slippage. This liquidity position isn't big enough to require what I'm about to talk about, but if, let's say, I did the same thing with like 10x what I have here, so this is $14 if I had, let's say, $140 or 1,400, like 100x of this, then what I would do is I would end up, I'd have my $580 here in USDT, and if I were to do that swap 580, I would get, a little bit of a price impact. It's not so bad. There's quite a bit of liquidity these days in the USDT pool, so it wouldn't have been that bad. But a good way to then sell this would be, to create an asymmetric liquidity position where I could be like, okay, I want to sell all of my USDT so into Wax, and I would do it something like this, where I would just take, here's the current spot price. I'd be like, okay, close to that price as I can get without actually going over it, and then really narrow. And then this way, I would basically be selling or buying Wax at this price, and I would not be getting any sort of slippage. Instead, I would actually be earning fees while the price is feeding. But that is, contingent on the price actually moving into my range. But that is an option for kind of like doing high liquidity trade.
From the Wax Tools graph page, USDT on Alcor still yields 18.49% APR, I think, just from the fees. That
sounds about right. Like if we go to analytics, you can see there's a Wax Tool analytics just been added here, which is really cool. They have like a nice little like breakdown of the actual like DeFi kind of economy on Wax. You can see this chart will show like how the volume flows. You can see most of the volume is going on Alcor, obviously, and the majority of it is actually going through the USDT Wax pool. So you can see a massive like majority stake of token trading on Alcor on chain is now USDT. It used to be a TLM for like ever. So this is a relatively recent development of this overtaking TLM. And then you can also see here, this DeFi box is Swap. They're mainly trading Brawl as their kind of like top thing. And then Taco Swap is swap.taco, Wombat, and USDT are like their main one. So I guess Wombat and USDT are their main ones. And then the others are just, this is the collection of every other token trading there. So you can see Wombat trades almost as much as everything else put together on Taco Swap. But yeah, this is a really cool breakdown. And you can also, go into the analytics overview. And then you can see here's USDT pool. You can see how much liquidity is in the pool and how much USDT volume happens against it. So $45,000 worth of volume in 24 hours isn't bad at all. And so you can see kind of here the APR like that you're earning from this pool. So you got the volume, $45,000. In the week, we did $250,000 in this pool alone. And then you can see the pool itself is only consisting of $131,000. So this $131,000 is turning over almost twice per week. So very capital efficient. You're going to see quite a decent amount of yield from stuff like this. You can also, set your liquidity very tight. Like I'll do that on my own wallets where I'm monitoring them, and you can earn like pretty substantial yield from that. Like I think my yield farming wallet was doing between $5 and $10 a day in yield from having a really tight, really tight range, and maybe like 8,000 wax in stake. So being able to, make $5 worth of yield, which is quite a bit of wax, like 80 wax per day from about 8,000 wax in stake. It's a lot. It adds up very, very quick. But of course, your range is very tight, and you have to stay in range. It's kind of difficult. I could show you something on the rest of DeFi world where I do this kind of yield farming, where there's more volume, and it's actually really, really lucrative. But let's take a look what we want to do first here with the wax and the USDT that we've pulled. So again, I've pulled. I also still have Wombat USDT. And let's see how this farm is doing. 126% APR. That's solid. Let's take a look at our yield here. 4.5 Wombat. Let's claim that as well. So what I'm thinking about doing here for the coming week, which let me double check how this week is. Okay, so for this week will be ending on the 24th. Next week ends on the 31st. So next week we'll probably want to put some of our wax just in our wallet so that we can earn some of this airdrop. But for this coming week, we can still participate in these pools. I'm going to go to all farms and take a look at what's being offered on Alcor. I think Wombat USDT is a pretty solid choice here. I also feel like, Wombat is kind of discoupled now from Wax as far as its price action. It is its own token. It has quite a bit of footing outside of just the Wax blockchain, which is really great. And I've been a fan of Wombat token for a long time. I think there's another place where we can participate in Wombat liquidity, which is on Taco Swap. And I'm not 100% sure what the Taco Swap yield is, but let's see if that's a better deal. Taco Swap, or if USDT Wombat on Alcor is going to be where we want to stick around. So looking here, I'm going to go to the meal pool, and they used to have the Wax Wombat pool here, which was almost 100% APR still on this one. Not terrible. If we're looking for, let's do highest liquidity. We're on the highest liquidity already, and look at this guy. I'm not sure what SPN is. Spin token. Oh, I know what that is. Spin is it's a gambling game, like a gambling website. I'm not that blown away by this. This is a lot of yield, but I don't know. I'm not that big on tokenomics on this one. What I do like, though, is here we have USDT Wax. We can participate in this here, which we were doing on Alcor, and 33% isn't crazy cool, but it's not bad. Yeah. Yes. It's not bad. But I think I'd prefer doing like a Wombat token because it's paying so much more. And rather than sticking with Wax Wombat, because looking at the chart, we're a little uncertain if we're gonna break up or down. I think I want to do the Wax or the Wombat USDT pool, and because let's go back to Alcor, because I can do this pool with asymmetric liquidity, I'm going to create a position that takes basically the Wax that I currently have. So you can see, I only have 93 more that I could get from this one. But the Wax I currently have is 141. Actually, before I talk about this, let me check the chart. And I'm going to go to Wax on Edge and take a look at the Wombat Wax chart. Or the Wombat USDT chart, rather. USDT. Here it is. Now let's take a look. There's the token price for Wombat. Okay, Wombat's actually climbing quite a bit recently in terms of USDT. So I guess what I want to see from this is like, where's our range here? And so you look at how aggressively we've climbed. Let's make a range, like a pretty wide range. Let's go to like the green line here represents the 50-day moving average. So let's say we'll go to the 50-day moving average, which is 0. I'm gonna have to lean in here. Or Paul, can you tell me what this number is? Right here, 0.00 what 425, and then what is it up here? We'll call it 007 and then 00425. Thanks, babe. Okay, so using this as my range, I'm going to start by swapping my USDT into Wombat. I'm doing that on Wax on Edge here. And then let's see, it would just use, oh, okay, so this is actually kind of cool. I don't know, this is Alcor V2, but I don't know if everyone's noticed, but the Alcor spot market is also part of this now. So if there's limit orders waiting, it'll automatically fill the limit orders if it's a better deal. Very, very fucking cool. Wax on Edge, just crushing it. Okay, so I'm going to swap
Shout
this.
out to Wapaka, aka Wax Paka.
Yeah, this is super cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go to the pool, and not the same pool that I already have open. With a new pool, I'm going to go. All right, I would have to swap my Wax into Wombat. That's what I turn my USDT into Wombat. So I should turn my Wax into USDT. I meant to turn my Wax into Wombat and not USDT. But either way, this works out better because then I end up with more USDT than Wombat, and I want to have my range being on the way down have a little bit more padding. So I will need more USDT than I would need Wombat. Okay, so we did this swap. This swap was also. Oh, here we go. This actually did. So that trade happened on the Alcor market. Look at that. So that was a spot trade. Dope. Very cool. Anyway, now let me go back to Alcor. We're going to do USDT and Wombat. And we're going to do 0.3. We know that's the correct pool because 100% of the participants are using that pool. And then now what I wanted to do was set my price in terms of Wombat. And it was minimum price 00425 and then 007. So we do have a decent range like this. And now let's take a look at which direction we need to move in order to get more USDT. And I think that's going to be increasing the bottom price here. Yeah. So we'll give it a little bit more room on the lower end. So we can move a little bit below the moving average. But on the 7, I think that's a pretty good spot to stop. So let's leave that alone. I just want to get to 8.6 here. So I'm going to go minus 2 more times. Maybe 3 more times. Almost at 8. 2 more. 8.1. I can get up to 8.69. So let's see if that's 2 more. 1 more. 1 more maybe. 8.66. Perfect. We'll add the liquidity here. So now I've set a range that isn't crazy wide. Like our previous range also, by the way. You can see this range. We are mostly in USDT because we're expecting the price of Wombat to kind of sink. And so we haven't actually padded this range to include, room for it to move up a whole lot. You can see this one's almost out of range, actually. Almost 0.5 in range still. But we didn't want to use that same range because we'd also wanted to pad the range a little bit on the top level. I'm going to refresh here. We should see 2 pools now. There they are. So you can see both are in range. This is our more recent one here, the 1450, 1448. And now if we go to the farm, we'll see both of our positions should be in here and now making 9 Wombat per day from this LP, which is pretty solid. I think that's where I'm going to leave this position for now. Let me double check that I don't have any other pools that need to be reworked. No. And then if I go to our Wombat, is there any liquidity here? There is. Okay, so we actually do have some liquidity in Wombat Wax, which means we can claim some rewards. Hey, we made 7 Wombat here too. So let's withdraw those tokens. And then I think we'll just leave those as wax in our wallet for now. So I'm going to swap them into wax and then just leave those alone. So let's do that really quick. We'll do wax. That gives us a little bit more exposure to, wax as the week continues here. But we already have enough wombat in our pools here. So we made almost 1 wax in wombat token from that stake. Not bad. All right, let's mission failed. Oh, it needs a little refresh here is what it needs. Okay. Or did I run out of GPU, CPU? This happens in the past when I've waited too long to like refresh or something, but let me see. Okay, so what's the route it's taking? Wombat into Waxfern into, yeah. So I don't know, for some reason that's not letting me do it. So I'm just gonna do it over here. We'll go wombat into wax. Wombat into wax. 0.69 instead of 0.7. Okay, the other one was definitely a little bit nicer, but at least this one's gonna work. Cha-ching. Okay, and we'll leave the rest of this sitting for now. So if I go to my wallet, we do have a little USDT, like 2 cents. A little bit of wax still chilling. PXJ, I don't think we ever got rid of because we earned these. Got a couple like tokens here that were just kind of like dust amounts. But we have pretty much nothing in our wallet, maybe 1 wax worth of stuff in our wallet. And then for the coming week, we're going to be in the USDT Wombat pool on Alcor and in the Wax Wombat pool on Taco Swap. So the Wax Wombat pool is kind of a throwback. This is an OG pool we farmed for a long time already with this wallet. It's done as well, so let's stick around with that one. But yeah, let's leave this alone. I think I wanted to show off because I like what we're doing here is yield farming. We're putting up liquidity and we're letting this liquidity basically be in a position to trade to earn us liquidity yield. And the reason we're picking these pools has to do with this farm, right? So the farm is paying us additional incentives right now, 126% APR, which is great for supplying liquidity to this token. On top of that 126 APR, I'm also earning the fee yield here. And so I wanted to show really quick, there's something that I've been doing like on Ethereum and on EVM blockchains to farm liquidity. And it's really lucrative and not super high risk as it is to farm, like to get, when we look at high APR tokens, for example, like here, if we're trying to earn, a yield farm APR of 190% or 290% APR here, that's a very high token yield, but we have to be exposed to wax and SPN. And in terms of this, we have to be exposed 50-50 to that token. So we have to if not only 50-50, but 50-50 between 0 and infinity as far as the price range goes. So you're really exposed to these tokens when you do these types of liquidity pools. And I wanted to show off the Merkle farm. So this is Angle Protocol I've talked about before in the past. And Angle Protocol built this liquidity farm where pretty much anyone can come, like here, if you're a project owner, you can, add incentive rewards to any liquidity pool. And when I say any liquidity pool, I mean like any liquidity pool. You can see like this is Uniswap, Sushi Swap. These are different exchanges, right? And rather than requiring me to deposit liquidity into Uniswap and then stake it into this farm, it is enough for me to simply deposit liquidity into Uniswap. This farm, the Merkle farms, will know that I have that liquidity and pay me accordingly. And then look at these APRs, right? So we're looking at like I was saying, we could get 290% from a pool like Wax SPN, but we're really exposed to what amount to 2 very high risk tokens. And then you look at a farm like this, where like this one that I'm doing here, you can see I'm able to generate 220% APR on liquidity in wrapped staked ETH and USDC on Uniswap. And so this position on its own, all this is a Uniswap position. So if I go to Uniswap, I could go and here's the liquidity position. And you can see there it is, USDT ETH. I've set the range. Here's the price range that I'm willing to trade this in. So you can see it's very tight, 2,800 to 3,000. It's very small range. And because it's so tight, a lot of my, liquidity is in range and it is earning fees. These fees, this is less than 24 hours worth of being in the pool like this. So it's earning these $18. And on top of this $18, you're earning this fee. And this fee is based on how tight your liquidity is. And so you can see when I mouse over this, for example, on the right here, it says the average APR for the total pool is 77%. So the average person who's participating in this is not making 200%. But the reason mine is so high is because I've tightened my liquidity. And now, again, this has been a day. And in one day, this pool is paying out 24.66 ARB tokens on top of the liquid. So this is almost $50 in rewards on top of the 15. So this is, overnight about $65 in yield from a pool where I'm effectively supplying USDC and staked Ethereum. So I wanted to show this just to kind of illustrate that you can make these kind of like shitcoin insanely high APRs without having to expose yourself to shitcoins. You could, like, the worst case scenario for this liquidity pool is that, Ethereum goes up in price. It goes up in price beyond my top price here over 3,026. And then 100% of my liquidity will just be in USDC. And that's as bad as it gets for this pool. On the flip side, obviously, Ethereum drops below my target and then 100% of my liquidity is in ETH. I don't mind holding ETH or USDC. So it's not really difficult for me to target a very tight range on a liquidity position like this and then earn myself, 200% APR on top of that. And then again, you can see some of these other pools, like I'm in this pool here, GNS USDC. I'm in this on a different wallet, and you can see the average it's paying is 181%. But based on how tight I make my range, take a look at what my pool is paying. If we go here, if I go back to Uniswap, and you can see here it is, GNS USDC. Again, only on Uniswap. I haven't staked this anywhere. I haven't given any other contract permissions to interact with my tokens. All I've done is supply liquidity on Uniswap v3. That's it. And so you can see this liquidity position is GNS token. You can see the range again, very tight. So I'm going between $5.03 to $5.80. Not crazy, wide. But then if we look at the value of the token itself, GNS, that range, here we are on the daily chart, that range is, from right down here, right where my line is, so $5 here to $5.80 around here. So you can see over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I've been inside this range comfortably and earning fees, right? And then if we go back to the Merkle farm, because my range is so tight, the fees I'm earning are worth 398% APR. And again, this is paid on top of the yield that I'm earning at Uniswap. And again, I don't need to participate in anything here. This is just earning. I can come here and say claim whenever I want. And so this one is paying, here's another 18 ARB and almost 2 GNS already. And this was also overnight. So it's another like $50 that, I'm earning in liquidity yield just from participating in these pools. And so you can see, like, here's a Uniswap pool with USDC and DAI. So these are 2 stable coins. And look at the average yield people are making here is almost 30%. And I just wanted to kind of like point at this to be like, this is what keeps me from putting more money into Wax DeFi. Like, why would I put money on Wax when look at the yield I can earn here and look at what they're asking for? I mean, this is like ETH and USDC and Bitcoin. Like, I don't have to buy like low cap tokens or expose myself to high risk assets. I can basically farm blue chips like stable coins in a pool that's $7 million deep and still earn 30% or more while only maintaining a Uniswap position. And again, the 30% I'd be earning is on top of what fees I'm earning in Uniswap. The Merkle farm is really, really cool. I wanted to show that off just to kind of like give an overview. The other thing I really like is right now, if you go to the token I was showing off, the GNS token here, this is the token for Gains Network, which is like a perpetual contract market. We've played this before in the past, or I've showed this kind of in the past before, but what I wanted to show here is that right now, if you come up here, if you're on the Arbitrum chain, so this works on Polygon and Arbitrum, and what this is you can choose a crypto token, like here's cryptocurrencies, and there's a fucking metric shit ton of these, but you know, like let's just stick with like Bitcoin. So I could choose Bitcoin, and then I could you know, bring it requires DAI as collateral, but I could bring like $100 worth of DAI, use 100x leverage, and then open a position worth $10,000, which is effectively, you know, I could then go long $10,000, but I'd have a very low liquidation price. So you could also set your stop losses and stuff right when you're making the fee. Blah 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 blah. This is a perpetual futures market. But the reason I'm bringing this up at all is that they recently got a grant from the Arbitrum Foundation, worth, I think at the time of the grant, $7 million. And since then, the Arbitrum token has actually kind of shot up another like 40% or some shit. So they had like $13 million worth of rewards to pay out. And what they're doing is they're just paying them out. So if you click up here on rewards, you can see we're right now on Epoch 3. Each epoch is, so this epoch is going to end in 24 hours. Each of these epochs is 1 week. And what happens here is every time you open a position, every time you trade a certain amount of fees, if you make profit, and if you in a percentage or profit in dollars, it will give you rewards in Arbitrum token. At the end of the epoch, you can claim those rewards here. These rewards are ridiculously lucrative. In my first week I did Epoch 2 last week, I earned $1,300 in Arbitrum tokens simply for trading on this platform. I ended up losing $400, I think, for making, you know, wrong trades or getting liquidated and stuff. And even though my net for the week of trading was minus $400, after I claimed my rewards, I was up $800. These rewards are going to be paid out over 13 epochs. We're in Epoch 3. So starting, you know, you can do this immediately right now if you wanted to, but starting tomorrow is Epoch 4. There's 13, so there will be 10 more weeks of being able to earn these fees. If you do make trades and you do participate in perpetual future trading, I highly recommend you try doing that on Gains Network for the next few weeks and try to earn yourself some of these rewards. They are ridiculously lucrative, to the point where I open a position and then just close the position at a wash, you know, basically no profit, no loss, or maybe a slight loss. And even that is enough to make money in rewards fees, like positive money on top of the loss of the wash trade. So I just wanted to show that off. Lots of really cool things that happen out here, especially right now on Arbitrum. There's a lot of projects that have been given grant money from the Arbitrum Foundation, and a lot of those projects are paying those grants out to liquidity providers. And you can see here on Merkle, that's, you know, where these huge APRs come from. Almost all of these, if I like click on this, all of these are going to be paying out in some type of Arbitrum token reward, which obviously the one I chose isn't loading for me. But if I, you know, like let's just click on, here we go, ETH Lobe, there, 280 Arbitrum per day. And so the reason that it's paying Arbitrum is because this is part of a reward distribution that's rooted back into a grant that was given by the Arbitrum Foundation. Either way, knowing this stuff helps because you now know there is huge incentive opportunities over on Arbitrum. Don't sleep on this stuff. I think it's ridiculously it's really, really worth it to participate in this. Like I said, even though I lost $400 trading, and I put up like maybe I had $1,000 in my wallet to do this in DAI. After that end of that week, I ended up claiming $1,300 rewards, made myself whole again, and put $300 into like a second thing, just to kind of like separate that money out as like a profit realized, you know. But either way, I wanted to show that off. It's maybe a little high concept, but keep in mind these Merkle farms exist. It's not just on Arbitrum. We can go to Ethereum mainnet. We can go to Polygon. So this is a cross-chain protocol built by Angle. And so if you're on, if you're on here base chain, these are the current like incentivized pools on base chain, and you can find all these different pools available here on the Merkle.angle.money website. And again, keep in mind, none of this requires you to commit anything to their farm.
This is context of what you're saying. Said you need to do volume ?
So okay, that's a good question. So for example, the one that
I $50. I don't know if you have a strategy for that.
So it depends on the pool. So like check this out. The one that I was in here, right? The GNS USDC pool. If we click on this, it'll tell you how do I earn this? Well, 50% of the fees are paid to the volume, basically to fees that you're earning for your liquidity position. 25% each is split between what you have in GNS and in USDC. So this pool splits how it pays its rewards, 50% between the fees that you're earning and 25 between the assets you keep in the pool. That means if you do an asymmetric liquidity position, actually this one doesn't matter because they're both 25%.
You said for G-Trade.
Oh, for G-Trade. What was the question again then?
You need to do volume ? I was going to test the 50.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So on G-Trade, no. It's about you pay a fee when you open a transaction. The fees give you a kickback always. If you trade a certain number of dollars in fees, if we go to fee, see here on the left, my next fee tier is I only have to pay $8 in fees. Then I'm tier 1. If you get to tier 1, this tier resets every day at the close of the day candle, so at 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you get to tier 2 today, then your tier 2 rewards, your loyalty points will be tier 2. If you get to tier 3, tier 3, each day that you get to that tier, you get an additional kickback here. And then these two rewards, these are contingent on if you make profit. So if you end up making a loss, you end up with 0 here. But if you're in a profit, then these can give you, additional rewards as well. But you will always, always, always make rewards from simply paying fees to open and close positions on here with the top and the bottom one. And those two alone are what I used to make the $1,300. That week I was negative, so I got 0 for both of these. So again, if you can trade successfully and with a decent amount of like the fees that you've paid, you can seriously pull an ass load of money out of this. It's ridiculous. And then the only downside is, it is a perpetual market, so you are required to use leverage, and they do require a minimum transaction size or position size of $7,500 or DAI, meaning that the minimum size for a position would be $50 in collateral and 150x, because that would get you to 7,500. Anything smaller than that, it'll be like, hey, that's not a big enough position, you can't open that. Which also means, that's the biggest and the easiest one to trade would be 3,250 in collateral with 2x. And so you're still paying the exact same. You're still paying $5.20 to open the position. Or I'm sorry, it would have to be 350 or 750 because we're trying to be at 7. It should be $6. There it is, $6 to open a position. The position is still worth $7,500, and with this much collateral, you actually don't need the price to move much at all for you to make back your $6 and break even. So it becomes pretty easy to open a position, make it, flat and then close again, especially if you like just watching the chart, on like the 5 or the 1 minute or something, and just looking for it to get to a peak where it's like, okay, it's peaking. I mean, like I would do it based on the SRSI and the chart. So if we're looking at like, Bitcoin, I'd be like, okay, on the 15-minute right now, for like, if I'm going to open and close a trade within minutes, that's why I'm looking this close at the chart. I'd look first at the hour, then at the 15. If the hour is looking bearish and the 15 is overbought, so like here the SRSI is overbought, then I'd be interested in jumping over. But yeah, check it out. It's definitely worth your while, I think. Like, even if you've never tried it, it makes it very straightforward to try it now. Like I guess I could do a sample trade, but I don't know. We don't need to get that deep into it. But yeah, I think it's really cool that like, oh, and then obviously the GNS token that I'm farming over here, where I'm like, yeah, this token and it's paying all this like liquidity, almost 400% APR. That's the token for this protocol. And if you come here, you can stake those tokens, and they actually will pay you 19.3% APR in DAI. So this token pays stablecoin yield, and that comes from people using G-Trade. So it's like I think 65% of the fees people are paying goes directly to people staking GNS token. It's a really cool little protocol. I'm a big fan of this one. And the fact, you know, they also have a decent amount of value in their vaults here. You can see, I think it's like 20, 30 million.
Said 7,500 is a lot. I was thinking I would do X10 to X20 with my $50.
Yeah, so that's I liked to do it like that as well. But yeah, for this one you would need to bring like $750 if you're going 10x, which is a little discouraging sometimes. But it is actually pretty cheap. You're still only paying $6 in fees, and opening and closing a trade gives you back like $12 in rewards. So if you open and close a wash trade, you're basically just buying Arbitrum tokens, which is kind of easy. I don't know. Basically, how I've been viewing this is I'll try to make trades, and then I'll set really tight stop losses. Like right now, where it's like, okay, if it's moving down, I'll set a stop right here. So if if it goes here, if it pushes here, then I'll get like stopped out, and then I'll have lost maybe like $5 or $8 or $9 or something, and I'll get back like $5 or $8 or $9 anyway. So no big deal. But yeah, this platform isn't super expensive. You can do really cheap positions like that on GMX if you've ever messed with this. So I actually really like using this as a hedge against the volatility in a bull market. You can see this is a perpetual market as well. Only instead of only requiring DAI, this one you could trade with any of these assets, which is kind of cool. And then you can trade, you know, not quite as many tokens here. It's Litecoin, Uniswap, XRP, Dogecoin, Link, Arbitrum, Solana, ETH, and Bitcoin. So not that many. The other one has like almost 100 different cryptos you could trade. But what I really like about this one is you're earning, like you see here, like for example with Ethereum, right? Ethereum, if I were to short sell Ethereum right now, you can see it is going to cost me nothing to borrow leveraged Ethereum, and I would be paid for having an open position here. And like relatively handsomely. So I actually have an open position here. I can show you what that looks like. Here. There it is. So here I have a short position. I did $1,000 short Ethereum, but it's collateralized. So you see my collateral here is in Ethereum. So as the price of Ethereum goes up, so does the value of my collateral. And that means that my liquidation price for this trade is ridiculously high. So you can see I won't be liquidated until Ethereum hits $27,000 per token. So very, very comfortable margins on a trade like this. But the reason why I would do this at all, the way I've done it here, is if you see, if I scroll over this, you can see I am paying nothing to borrow any of my ETH, and I'm earning $1.47 per day to keep this position open. So that's $1,000 is making me $1.47 a day simply for staying open. And as the price of Ethereum falls, I will be able to close this position at a profit realized in Ethereum. So this is, again, it's a hedge against volatility in a bull market. Obviously, I'm long-term. Like right now, I think the crypto markets are moving up again. We're entering a bull trend again. But I opened a short position, you know, 1.5% ago, not crazy like long ago. I opened a short position after this massive run up to be like, okay, if we get volatility and pull back, I'm going to make more Ethereum from this. But if we just range for a long time now, that's okay too, because I'm going to be earning $1.50 per day from this. So if I now go to claim, I've already earned almost $4.50 from this, just for having it open. And that's just going to keep cooking in the background. And like I said, I'm comfortable here until $27,000 per ETH. So this is kind of a relative set and forget. The other thing you can do on this protocol here is you can supply liquidity to the individual token pools. So like with Ethereum, there is Ethereum and USDC in a pool, and that is what people are trading against to open long and short perpetual contracts. And those pools are participatable. So if I go to the Earn tab, you can actually see these are the individual pools, and they all pay relatively decent yields in APR because they have crazy good capital efficiency because a lot of people are trading perpetuals. So they're not only are people trading against these pools, people are borrowing from the pools and paying the borrow fees to both the pool and obviously the counterpart of those positions, like myself, who is short ETH while the majority of the pool is long, and therefore I'm earning $1.50 a day from that. The pool is also earning a cut of this. But these positions are relatively cool, and I have I guess I can check. I put $100 into each one of these pools, not each one of them, into 3 of them a little while ago. And let's see how those have done. You can see here's the Solana pool. I started with $100. It is now $149.34, so up almost 50% on that. Here's the Link pool. Started with 100. There's 114 in there now. Here is the Uniswap pool. Started with 100. It's 121. So these are also not terrible positions if you like more passive yield. I'm not having to manually set the range for these pools. I literally just add them and walk away. And then, of course, this protocol has one of my favorite passive ways to earn Ethereum, where at the top here, the GMX token itself is worth about $52 a coin. And what you can do here is you can buy these tokens, and you can see I have them staked. I have 23 of these tokens staked in this wallet. And so, it's worth like $1,200. But what that's doing is earning me interest paid in Ethereum. And so you can see I've already earned, 366 since the last time I claimed. And then the other part of this is that, this, if I mouse over this, you can see I'm actually earning 3.76% Ethereum from staking and an additional 1.57 from Boost. The Boost is an incentive to stay staked longer. So what happens is, as I'm earning my ETH, I'm also earning here these multiplier points. You see I have 0.4 already, right? Whenever I go to claim, if you say claim, it offers here claim GMX rewards and then compound, or if I say compound, it'll be like compound multiplier points. Here, very top, stake multiplier points. And so you can see on the left, multiplier point APR. Where's my multiplier points? I think they're at the very bottom now. Yeah, here. If I mouse over my GMX, 23.52 is actually GMX tokens, and 9.86 is multiplier points. And so I'm earning as much APR as if I had 33 GMX tokens, but I only have 23. And the reason it's so much higher is because how long they've been staked, and I compounded or restaked the multiplier points. Really cool, super passive. You don't have to do anything other than set those multiplier points and walk away. Ooh, let me, did I just shit out?
You want to pick your Counter-Strike team?
I thought I shit out a little bit. What did they say?
You want to pick your Counter-Strike team?
Oh, yeah. Here, let me go back to web.
But yeah,
I just wanted
those DeFi platform tokens where you get a share of the fees are nice and injects money into the token.
Exactly, yeah. And so that one is 70% of the fees that people pay for using the perpetual market go into the liquidity pools, like the pools I showed you where I was like, I added $100 or whatever, like 70% of everything goes into the pools, 30% goes to the GMX stakers. And then again, with a pool like this, if we look at the dashboard really quick, you can see there is $270 million of 24-hour volume on this platform alone. So the fees generated here are absolutely worthwhile. This is the second biggest perpetual market in DeFi. And it's not that expensive, I feel like, because you can buy the GMX token for $50. I think I first bought these for 80, and I averaged down after buying the first few. Like, I really like this token. And the fact that it pays all these extra rewards is great. But yeah, let me jump over to, where is that thing?
Blast.tv.
Blast. All right. Neon Max. Now, how do I join our Neon League?
You just have to re-click once you're logged in the link I sent you in Discord.
Okay. It's just in a DM?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Let's do this. There we go. Pick one player from each category. Okay. What's the percentage mean?
Percentage is the percentage of people that have picked those players. So it's kind of like a cheat code to know who's the favorite, which is why like if you don't know a ton about Counter-Strike, you can kind of see
65%. Jeez.
Zaiwu is the #1 ranked Counter-Strike player in the world last year.
I remember him from when we watched. Yeah, I want him. He's great.
I picked him too. I feel like he's kind of a
yeah.
The other thing is generally people pick players on better teams.
Oh yeah.
Because it's double elimination. If you lose twice, you're eliminated, and anybody who wins one match will get three matches. So like if you have a bad player on a good team, they'll get an extra match. And the way the scoring works is you get 10 points for last place if you get in 10th, and you get 100 points for first place. And generally, like even the bad player on a good team, if it like Vitality beats a team 2-0, even the best player on the worst team is probably going to end up in like the 4 through 7 range. And then like 4 of the last players are all going to be on the team that loses. So like the worst player on the best team will often end up ranked higher than like the good players on the bad teams. And then you get an extra round. So like if you got a guy in Vitality, they're going to play 3 matches almost guaranteed. And then like if a team just loses twice, they're going to get shit scores on 2 maps in a row. So even like the best player on a bad team is often worse than a good, not a good player.
Is Frozen good? He gets a bunch of people.
FaZe is the #2 ranked team in the world right now.
This
the last tournament, Vitality won first place. The last 2 tournaments has been first place Vitality, second place FaZe. The F is for FaZe.
Okay, so I'll probably want one of these guys.
Yeah,
bro, I'm gonna show this guy some love. I feel like his homie has too many people.
Brokey is also Brokey is more experienced, and he's the opper. He uses the sniper rifle, and he's like been widely considered a better player for longer. But Frozen is like the younger guy, and he's the newest addition to FaZe.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna bet on the old horse. Let's see. This guy gets a bunch of fucking love. I'm just gonna go based off of like a name I like though. Jabby? No, okay. 1% is 2. Jabby's a fun name though.
Jabby's actually not bad. The other thing you can do is if you go go to the premiere thing.
Where's that?
The top left. Don't click on it because it'll get you out of this page. That's right. Top left.
Oh,
the other side.
Oh yeah, here.
And then right click Spring Groups 2024. Just open it in a new tab. And if you scroll down, like keep scrolling down, then click like Astralis, which is the team that Jabby's on. This tells you their stats from last year, so you can see what you generally want to look for is kill death ratio and ADR are the 2 most important stats for players. So like ADR is average damage per round. It takes 100 damage to kill someone. So the closer you are to getting 100 damage a round, the closer you are to getting a kill every round. And then kill death ratio is just how often you kill.
All these people,
you want people who are killing more than they die. And this is kind of a way you can compare, like you can see like the percentages of the pick, but then you can go look like, oh, if this guy's less percentage, how well does he play most of the time? So like it's sometimes worth picking the people with less percentages if they do better.
Let's see, is Jabby on here?
Jabby and Stavin on the same team.
Oh, there he is. 73. That's nothing compared to his homies in the 80s. But 1.1 isn't bad.
All those guys have pretty good. Like these guys' stats are a little bit like misleading because they did not play on the same team last year. Like as you can see, every single one of them is above 1, which is pretty much impossible for a team to have everybody killing more than they're dying. Otherwise, they'd win every single round and never lose. 2 of those players were on different teams last year, and they're the best players on the other team. So like likely they won't all do this well this year. Like some of them are going to end up falling behind. And I did the research. Stavin and Jabby got like under 1.0 kill death ratio on the first 2 games for that team, and then they ended up doing better on the second games. But They're kind of wild cards. I do think they're good, decent selections.
Which one's
I think
Stavin?
the
Oh,
other
this
good ones
guy.
in that category are Rain, because Rain's on phase, which is the second best team, and then people like
His
Twists.
ADRs are way
Well,
higher. This guy lands headshots too.
Twist is the highest in that category. Twist was on a. He was on. He just got traded from the team that he was on to a new team, but Twist is pretty good.
Twist is a good name. I'm going for that one. All right, silver. I need
Also, if anybody in the audience is watching, this is an open to join Counter-Strike Fantasy League. You're welcome to join and play with us.
I feel like one of these bottom ones is the way to go because this team is probably going to make it to the end, huh?
Apex is on the best team.
Yeah. Also,
Navi is the third best team, though.
Let's see. I got one last.
That's a crap team. You're going to lose.
My guy? No. What? Which guy? Who needs to be replaced? You know what? We'll see. We'll see.
I think he's just talking shit. Monosuerte is in our
league,
too.
We'll see. We'll see, Monosuerte. You fucking just watch. It'll make it that much sweeter when I crush you with my team. What is this? JT? Oh, that's okay. What was the second best team?
Second best team is FaZe, who's not on. Like, none of the FaZe or Vitality players are in the Jeeps tier. Which they got it. Last time they did that, like, everybody picked the Vitality guy, and he did the best, so I think they got to learn from that.
Oh, I remember him. He was in that last tournament we watched. Boombla or something?
Or Boombit.
Yeah.
Boombit, I think they call him.
He was good. He was, like, carrying his team. Okay, now I have to choose a captain?
Yeah, and that's how they have percentage multipliers. If you pick the best player, and the best one, you only get a 1.2x multiplier. But if you pick the worst player, you get a 2x. But then you're more likely to,
I'm going for this guy.
Cloud9 is less likely to make it to the final.
I went for Apex.
That's not a bad pick. I don't know
he's on
how good his score is though all the time. Like, if you go back to that other page, I think he is the worst. Like, he's the worst player in Vitality. Because that's not for your whole team. That's for his score specifically. I think he might be the only one that has under 1.0 kill death.
Yeah, 9-3. Fucking punk, dude. Do I lose points if he sucks?
No, but it doubles his points. So if he ends up like 7th on a map, you get, what is that, 20 points, and then you get 1.8 times 20. Whereas if you pick the guy who's getting more, like, it's like if ZywOo gets first and he gets 100, you get 1.2 times that, then you get 120, which is going to be more than 1.8.
Jesus Christ, dude. His kill death is 1.48?
He's the best player in the world.
Okay.
But
he's on my team,
I feel like Apex is a risky choice for your captain as far as
Okay.
Because you want somebody who has good individual performance. Like, I feel like Twists, like, if you go look at Twist stats, Twist has really good stats too. I feel like he's a good choice, but then your risk with choosing Twist is that his team doesn't make it 3 rounds because he's not on one of the best teams. But you should go check his stats in the other page.
Okay, let's see. He's on Liquid.
Liquid is also pretty good.
Twist. 1.06, so he's positive at least. He deals pretty decent damage, but nothing too crazy. I guess being positive is at least a little bit better. Although, I don't know, because like if this guy for sure makes it to the last round, doesn't that make him a better pick?
Depends on what place he gets on the map.
I guess so.
Brokey's also... I feel like Brokey and ZywOo are the safest choices as far as... Brokey's probably within the top 3 players on...
Okay, I'm going for Brokey. That's like a little bit better. ZywOo's just too basic. I'm not that basic.
ZywOo is... I didn't pick ZywOo last time and I regretted it. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy who picks ZywOo because everybody's picking ZywOo. It's like, there's a reason everybody picks ZywOo. ZywOo's a fucking monster.
Boom. Okay, so now... Oh, and I can change my players and my captain still.
Yeah, so you still have time. The other website I recommend, if you go to HLTV, just like type that into Google. And click on that one. This is like the good stats page if you're trying to get more into it. You go on the left and see like complete rankings. It's that blue tab on the left. This tells you the world rankings for every team. So like like the chance of them making it is based on what teams are, and you can see 1 is Vitality, 2 is FaZe, but like Navi's 3, Virtus Pro is 4. So like picking players on those teams, you're much more likely to make it to the final rounds. That's how you can kind of judge like, should I pick the best player on a team that's ranked 30? Probably not, because they could get eliminated. And then also if you click on who's Apex, the guy you chose, right?
Is it? Let's see. I chose Bookie now.
Well,
I have Apex, yeah.
So click on him, it'll have more in-depth stats.
Damn.
I was like, I think if you scroll down, it has a chart. Weird, it doesn't. Maybe if you see, no, that's photos.
I do love charts.
I wonder where that, because there's a page that has a chart that I've been looking at for each player performance.
Achievements.
But it does have better stats as far as, I like the charts though, because it tells you how they're doing in their last, because that's like what you're looking at for his his rating that you see, it's like it's higher. Like the other one you saw is 0 point something for his KD. That's like based on all the matches he's ever played. And if they've been playing for years, which this guy's 30 years old, he's probably been playing Counter-Strike for like 10 years. Basically, that's 10 years of stats. But like, there's a chart that shows you his rating over the last 3 months, so you can see if he's trending up or down. And that one's good for like some people are outperforming their ratings, and some people have like had slumps and aren't playing as well. So you don't necessarily want to choose the people that are like not doing good recently.
No rounds contributed to.
I wonder. Wait, complete statistics. Go back to that. There's a that blue button. Oh, that's for Apex. That should be right.
Oh,
there you go.
The chart.
That's his rating over the last 3 months. So you can see he's kind of trending down.
Yeah, he's having a comeback, so I'm good with him
right now.
I can't get it to. Let's see.
I mean, that's 3 months, so if you do like within the last couple of weeks, they'll probably be similar.
Damn, dude, this is so in depth.
Yeah, this website is kind of like, the other thing is that other websites only showing you their stats for Blast tournaments, which Blast does like 4 tournaments a year. All these people are playing seasonal like leagues, and they're playing hundreds of matches like in between, maybe not hundreds, but they're playing like a bunch of matches in between the Blast ones. So the Blast one doesn't give you like a full picture of these people. But if you're interested, that's kind of how I recommend doing your research, and you can sort of see like how people are trending lately. You can see how good their teams are, and then you can also see like just everything you need to see. The other website I use is if you go to like Liquipedia, just type that into Google. It's Liquid and then Pedia. And type Counter-Strike with it too, maybe. So there's click that one. And then if you just type in like Astralis in the type on the top, ASTRALIS, it popped up right there. Top one. This one I like seeing because if you scroll down at the top, it tells you when people were like all those. Don't scroll past those. It tells you. Your screen's so fucking pixelated, but it tells you all the moves they've made. So if you scroll to the bottom to like December, that's their last moves.
Yeah.
On November, so like on October 13th, they signed a guy. But if you look at November 24th, they benched 2 players and they acquired Stavin and Jabi. That's those guys I was telling you about, where like all of they have over 1.0 ratings. That's because at the very end of the last year, before they played their last Blast tournament, they got 2 of the best players from Heroic. So like, even though they're ranked 19th in the world, they were ranked 19th without 2 of the best players from another team they just got. So like, these guys could very outperform their ranking because they had roster changes at the end of the year. So like, keeping in mind roster changes is also important, because like there could have been the top team in the world Vitality last year, and if like in January they lose ZywOo or something, then it's like, well, just because they did good last year, they're currently ranked, then the roster changes might end up drastically changing the way they perform. So like for me, that's how I'm currently analyzing my picks is like, is the team the same as it was when they got the rankings? Was there anything that changed to make them rank worse? Like I would stay away from Heroic now because Heroic lost 2 of their best players to Astralis. So even if Heroic was ranked higher than Astralis, it'd be like, yeah, but they lost like 2/5 of their team. So you don't necessarily have to do all that research. You can just pick people based on the percentages, which is the easy way to do it. But I like looking at all the numbers and trying to like figure out if there's anybody like in a category that's underselected because people are missing something that like aren't following it. And then
now that I have a team, how do I join?
Did you not? Are you? If you just click the neon
space. Oh, here it is,
neon
space. Oh,
that's all of us.
Oh, nice. There's Monosuerte who thinks he's gonna win. He's not.
We got Monosuerte. We got me. We got Jolly. I'm the KY.
Nice. Buzzking.
Mr. Hair Doctor is Mark.
Oh, it's Mark. Yeah. Buzzking. Hey, I recognize like everybody in here.
Yeah, and that one's more fun because there's also you will be automatically competing globally. And there's also prizes if you get in like the top 10 globally. You get like I think it's up to like $5,000 in Counter-Strike skins. Like they'll give you money to spend to go buy skins, which it's cash if you don't live in America. But in America, oh wait, actually I think that's the HLTV one. But yeah, there are prizes if you do well globally. So if you get lucky, you could win some prizes. And we got a few more people. I think like Biscuit's gonna join. And I think my dad said
avatar. I thought I was being unique, but I wasn't.
I think that's one of the default ones. There's also loot crates if you like see how you have that currency in the top right that says 415.
Yeah.
You click on that. You can buy emoji cases and avatar cases. So there's like rare locked ones you can get. And you get that from chatting, logging into the website. And also if you play like go to play on the top left. Go to CS Guesser. If you play this every day, you get points. That's on a
image belong to.
I think that's on
Nuke.
No, I think that's on a Vertigo. But I'm not sure if that's
lower
Vertigo
or
top.
upper.
Actually, you might be right. It's hard for me to tell. It's either Vertigo or Nuke.
My
guess would be I would guess Vertigo lower. And then you have to click where on the map you think it is. This one takes some CS knowledge.
Vertigo lower. Okay.
I would do like that red area in the bottom right. Like actually kind of the center, like the purple area in the you're going left instead of right. Just go to the middle.
Here.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I could also be wrong on this one. I'm not super.
I'm gonna put it here. It's Vertigo top. It's wait, which one did I choose?
You got it wrong because we picked the wrong part of the map.
Whatever.
So I at least got the right map though, right?
Next round.
Okay, where's that? Let me see.
A little bottle.
That I think is I think that's Mirage.
Looks like Mirage. Yeah. And then maybe like here where it's all.
That's an inside. No, that's not there.
Oh, is it?
I would guess like.
Oh, let's see, like maybe over here. This is like that hallway,
guess,
right?
Like the very top, maybe. Like the top right.
Like over here.
That's inside too. That's like that's outside.
Let's see. Guess.
Oh,
it was over here, bottom left.
I knew it was near one of the spawns because that's like those are like the outdoor areas without stuff to hide behind. That also, that's either
that could be Mirage
but it might be Anubis. I think that's actually that could even be Ancient. But I'd probably guess Anubis. I don't know where on the map this is.
I'll try to
not anywhere with blue. I would guess anywhere with like.
Let's see here. No, it's Inferno.
That's Inferno? I wouldn't have guessed that. That is downstairs in. That's downstairs in Vertigo.
Nuke lower, right?
Or Nuke lower, so yeah. For sure.
That's like,
and that's is that the one at the very end of the hallway? I'd say like
Here?
It's at one of those two long one of those two hallways. It might be because those doors you can't open, so it's somewhere where it's like a dead end.
Maybe like.
I don't think it's right there.
Maybe here.
Possibly. I was thinking like.
Or here.
It could even be at the very bottom.
Oh, like down here. No, I think
there
this
is
is
like
the
a
stairway.
doorway there.
This is like the
I
stairway
don't know
to
which one it
the
is
upper.
exactly. I just put it at the end of one of those.
I'm gonna put it right here. Ah, it would have been down there. Close. Score 44. More? Let's see. Which one does this belong to?
Control a little bit.
It's a bucket. Looks like under
that might
like
be
European.
Overpass. What language is on that sign?
It's not enough text, but it looks like a European language, or it looks like a European
language
sign.
one is Inferno usually, or no, sorry, not Inferno. You scroll down a little bit. It's Overpass.
Overpass. Okay, let's see. Overpass.
And it's not going to be on the bottom in the blue. It's going to be in the gray if it's Overpass.
So probably like here. I'm going for it. Oh, it's Inferno.
Oh, it was Inferno.
See results. 2 out of 5.
Yeah. KY saying Playground and Overpass is in German. And then I think Inferno is like Italian or something. So like if you can figure out what language it is, it kind of narrows down which map it is. Yeah, that gives you, if you look, you just got more of the yellow for that. The other thing I would do is like, if you are interested in earning more yellow, play Picker. The other one, the Counter-Strickle, sorry. The top one, Counter-Strickle. This one you have to guess people. This one's really fucking hard, and I almost never win it, so I wouldn't actually recommend playing it. But if you just type in anything, you get points for just playing. So I just type in ZywOo every day. One day I'll get ZywOo right on the first guess, but ZYW. He shows up too if he is.
Okay.
And boom, in the top, you get plus 50 points just for that. And the way this works is it tells you like, okay, so you got yellow on French, that means it's in Europe. And then you got yellow on age, which means he's probably within 3 years of 23. So then you're like, you want to pick a European player that doesn't use an op that's like within 24 to 26 years old. And then you see where you go from there. It'll be like,
and
if you get the country right or the age right, it goes green. And Liquipedia is the best website for like, you can sort by player age and you can sort by nationality. So you can kind of like go through, but it takes a lot of reading through lists to get it right. And you do get more points if you get it right, but it's like you get a plus 50 every day for just typing it in. So
I mean, I'm already at 500, so I'm on my way to my emoji or my avatar.
Yeah, Blast is also they have their own like Twitch, like their own interface. So when they go live, they'll be broadcasting through Blast. If you log in and watch the streams through that, you get points, which is probably what
that's dope. I'm excited to battle it out with Montasuerte, who thinks he's good, but turns out he's not.
All right, we got a giveaway going, and then we'll probably end the stream. If anybody wants to !neon, I'll give away a wax prize for whoever wins. I'm getting really excited for CS Counter-Strike. I don't know, KY, if you saw the HLTV one. The HLTV one is nuts. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So you get it's not just like, you get to choose your captain, which gives you extra points in Blast. But for HLTV, it's like, you choose a captain, you choose an opper, you choose a support person. There's like 6 different roles you can choose, and it's like, if your opper gets 0.3 kills per, like 1/3 of their kills are from the op, then you get more points. But then it's like, if you get under, you can lose points. So you have to kind of like bet on which role is going to do what. And then on top of that, there's boosts. You can do like headshot king. And it's like, if you get 50 to 60% headshot, you get a minor boost. If you get above 60% headshots, you get a major boost. But then if you get under 50%, you lose points. So like, there's boosters you get to choose for each player, and also roles you get to choose for each players. The boosters you get to use once per tournament. The roles go through every round. So you have to like also decide, like, first round, I'm using the team captain on Vitality player I picked. And then I'm using the 2x boost if he does his role. Because if you win 3 games in a row or 2 games in a row, you get extra points. And the first match Vitality is playing. I forget who they're playing, but they're like pretty outclassing their opponent. So I'm expecting them to win, and I'll get 2x my captain bonus, which I hopefully get the full bonus. But yeah, I haven't quite figured that one out. Like I have the Blast, but HLTV looks cool, but you need to know way more about Counter-Strike, I think, to do that one. And since a lot of the people in the Neon Space community are kind of casual Counter-Strike fans or are just now getting into Counter-Strike, it's a lot easier to kind of like see the percentage selected on each player, so you can be like, yeah, I'm not going to pick the guy with 1% selected probably because people don't pick him. So it kind of makes it easy. And I just feel like it's just easier to manage the interface. But I'm excited for both, and as a less casual fan, I'm going to be participating in both.
Oh, I just got really stoned.
All right, let's do this giveaway and call it a stream. I got to work on some music before I meet with Ari in like an hour.
Nice. Yeah, I got to work on some stuff. Get some more. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Shit. Straight to the dome.
My team too.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried. I picked Stavin, but Stavin is like, I don't know if I trust Stavin.
I don't trust like that.
Oh, I'm not logged in. That's why. That'll do it. Yeah, I got Zywoo, Frozen, Stavin, Ema, and Alexi B. So I got a Navi stack. I got 2 Navi players, so I really have to hope Navi does okay. So they're the 3rd ranked team in the world, but I feel like they could still underperform. This face looks like a HLTV. If you look at like, how do I just go to the plate rankings? Astralis is also ranked 16 or 19th, so like they're not that great. But Stavin, if you look at his complete statistics, he was at like at the end of last year, November 2023, he was at a 1.0 rating, and then his first match of this year, like his last match of last year, he went down to a 0.82, and then this year he popped right back up to a 0.93. So it's like, was that like right after he got traded? They fucking him and Jobby both sucked. They both just completely tanked the ratings down. But then the first matches of this year in January, they both went above 1. So it's like, are they going to play like they did when they first got traded, or are they going to not do as well? So I don't know.
Yeah, let's see.
Matches. Yeah, on his last match he played against Ninjas in Pajamas. The other thing is Ninjas in Pajamas is not very good. Same with, I don't even know who Alternate Attacks is. And then when they're playing Vitrus Pro and Furia, who are better teams, they got negative. So I'm like, I don't know. So this is my riskiest pick with Stavin right here. But I kind of think Astralis is going to be a top 10 team this year because Stavin and Jobby are both like very good players. I think they did poorly at the end of last year because they like when you get traded to a new team, you have to play different roles and like you have to like adjust all this stuff. So I think that was like a new role jitters because they were just crushing the last 4 matches he's played. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm considering changing him. Like I kind of want to change him to Phase Rain is probably the way safer pick here. I also like Twists. I think Twist could be a good pick, but I don't know. Stavin. Jobby is also more consistent. Most people picked him, but Stavin is kind of like a boomer bust. We'll see how it goes. But that's my team for now. I also made Emo my captain. I feel like Emo, like, I don't know. I feel like this dude fucking rocks, and everybody was like not... He like got in a big slump last year. He went from being like one of the top players in the entire tournaments to like not doing well for several tournaments, so people kind of like counted him out. But then like in the world final, like he carried my team. Like part of the reason I came in first in the Neon League is Ema, so I'm fucking doubling down on Ema and giving him my captain role. I think it's like 1.8x, but he also could get another slump and completely screw me.
Yeah.
God, Counter-Strike Fantasy is so fun. Let's see what we're giving away too. Do we still have Music Mogul shit? We do not. We have something called Shroom Musings though. I bet you can't even sell those. All right, let's give away a Momoko Cherry Bell from Pixiegon. Shout out to Lude Momoko and Pixiegon collaborators.
Yeah.
I think the AV is like ow. Like ouch. Oh, like stauve. Yeah, I don't know how to say his name. Poppin' stocks. God, I'm excited for this fantasy though. The first game is next Monday, so like we're like a little under a week until it starts. They're also having at weird ass hours though. Like I think it starts at like 3 a.m. our time because it's somewhere in Europe. So I'll probably have to watch the replays, but the hard part is not checking your score before watching the replays. Like it's way more fun when you see the score happening live, but if you go check your replays, like you can pretty clearly tell which teams won if you like see your player did amazing or shitty, and then watching the match is less exciting. So I'm gonna try not to log into daily fantasy until after I watch the replays of my teams. It's really Navi is going to be the main team I'm rooting for. Let's see when they're playing. Which players, Max? You got Twists. You got people on FaZe and Navi. Let's see when your matches are going to be.
Let's see. Can you look at my lineup?
I can't look at your lineup. It doesn't tell you your opponent's lineups until after it starts, so you can't like cheat and copy them.
Okay, that makes sense.
People get really secretive, like on the HLTV forums, or like will not tell you who they pick, but other people will. Vitality's playing opening match day 1 at 8 a.m. versus OG. I also think this is going to be like a fucking blowout. OG is not that great. Astralis versus Team Falcon should be interesting. Team Falcons is currently rated higher, but Astralis has that new roster, so I think that'll be a good match. Ninjas.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not.
I can't tell. I can't tell what teams my guys are. It just shows the symbol, and I don't recognize all the symbols.
Well, I know you have Zywoo and you have Apex. That's Navi, so that's 2 of your players, and then you choose Brokey. Brokey is on FaZe.
Yeah,
and then you chose FaZe. Twists, who I believe is on Liquid.
Okay, Liquid has like the little horse icon.
And then you chose Boombit, who's on Cloud9. So
Cloud9
2 of your players are playing day 1 on Vitality, and then the rest are playing on Wednesday, which will be FaZe, Liquid, and Cloud9. I feel like Heroic's going to be not that great this year. They lost 2 of their best players. So who knows? Maybe if I can Boombit watch and clean up. Maybe that's why so many people are picking him, is because he has a really good, like, they're really likely to beat Heroic. So even if Cloud9 loses the next 2 games, I feel like Cloud9's going to get 3 matches, which is good for your score.
Nice. Let's see.
I'm excited for this. There's a few teams I don't really know, like Vitrus Pro. This is their first premier tournament I've seen. But if you look at the HLTV ratings, they're like a top team. They're rank 5 in the world. So they might do really well, and I'm just not familiar with them. But if some of these teams do really well, that means next tournament we can kind of adjust and start picking players from those teams. I feel like at the very least, the top 3 teams are going to like get 2 rounds, because even if they lose their first round, then they get to play against the losers, and they're good enough that they can beat the losers. I'm a little worried about Navi playing Complexity, but I feel like if Navi loses to Complexity, they'll beat whoever's in the like losers bracket, and then still play 3 games. What you don't want is 2 losses in a row. That's like the death in fantasy. All right. I can probably talk about this all day, but let's get into this giveaway. Tomorrow we'll be doing some off the rails. We'll watch some fun videos. And hopefully Friday I'll be able to play Dave the Diver. I don't know what was going on with my stomach. I don't think it's just my stomach. Like I think I was full blown sick last week. I'm still not feeling 100 either. I feel like I've had a cold for like a month now.
That's it.
I think I got a cold when I left New York, and then I got better, and then I got another cold. I feel like I got like a cold from every region. Like I got like the East Coast cold, and then I came back and got the fucking like I don't know if you and Paul brought anything from Washington, but I feel like I got like a Washington, a New York, and an LA cold. I hit all three of them in the last month, and I've just been.
Damn. Yeah, I got my fucking flu shot the other day. Still sore. Yeah, Paul got a cold over the holidays too in Seattle.
I feel like everybody's just getting pop and stock. He came in last minute and took the prize.
Damn.
We're legends.
Style.
Congratulations.
Still got squashed though. Oh, he has a flag.
Yeah, I'm hoping after I get over this cold, I'll be healthy for a minute because it's been fucking annoying. I'm feeling pretty better now, though. I don't really feel like I feel like I'm on the tail end of whatever cold I had. Hopefully, I don't like immediately get COVID and be like, "What the fuck?" I also haven't tested for COVID in quite some time, but I tested negative for COVID at the end of December.
Yeah. Damn. Whew. I haven't had COVID in a while, but shit's going around, dude. Like I know a lot of people who got COVID recently.
I too. I also haven't tested every time I've felt sick though, so there's a chance you get COVID, and if you don't test for it, then you just don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's play buying the tip and boogie on out of here.
Yeah, and now it's actually relevant. I think there was a dip. There is a dip right now. I'm buying the dip.
Guess we can rate in the custom TV again. I think there's less people streaming on Wax these days. It's kind of a lull in Wax streaming.
Yeah.
A music video with the guy from, what is his name? Tim something? From I Think You Should Leave.
Tim Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's Tim Robinson? How is he in the thumbnail and he's not in the video?
Boo.
Weird. Maybe that's completely clickbait. I don't know.
Yeah.
That actually might not even be Tim Robinson. It just looks like him. All right. Enough ADHD. Let's do... The fuck am I looking for? Buying the dip?
I think You Should Leave is so fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. I met someone that was on that show. He was in the play that Ari did.
Nice.
I was like, damn. Respect.
Yeah, that show's great.
Let's see. I guess we'll give our Discord information in case anybody's not in here. Also, if anybody's interested in that Counter-Strike stuff, it's free to play, and I'll probably give away like for the Fantasy Football League. I just ended up sending everybody who played some Neon, like the Neon token. I sent Neon Blend tokens, so this time you might have to beat me. I felt like I fucking won the league, and I'm still giving out the prizes. Like y'all should be giving me prizes for winning, but I'll probably still send out some prizes, assuming like a bajillion people don't enter. But if it's still relatively small, if you participate, I'll probably send you something. If you win, I'll send you something cooler. We can send something from our giveaway wallet if someone wins, but I felt weird just like funneling giveaway shit into my own wallet because I won. So that'll be your goal. You have to beat me.
Yeah, right.
You'll win something. You gotta earn it.
Fair. Right.
And then, yeah, it should be fun. I'll also probably be talking about it a bunch. And also, there's like a tournament every 2 months, so like, it's not like fantasy football where every week you have to update your lineup and like keep on top of things. It'll be pretty hands off for fantasy. You set your lineup once for each tournament, and then it also tracks the stats throughout the entire year. So like each tournament, it'll add your points to the previous one, so we can have like a full season winner at the end of the year in December after the World Final, which I think is fun. That's all just built into Blast.
Yeah, that's dope.
Man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Oh, man, your boy poor Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
First of all of this running by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. GameStop was short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of its stock. Crush these companies into the dirt. Thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when the individual makes money, everyone's entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house, paid $50,000 and bought a house. After decades of the shorts, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening? Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Peace out. We will catch you tomorrow. Have fun with custom TV. Later.
There's 20,000 people live in a Discord who are spamming rocket emojis, yelling, "Go to the moon."